Script started. Dependencies loaded. Booting Series 13 of the Year of Shame Challenge. Please wait.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Year of Shame Challenge season 13. It's December and believe it or not, it's the end of the year. We've made it. We've made it to the final month. So the last show, kind of upsetting, kind of terrifying and kind of bewildering all at the same time. So for the last time, I'd like to welcome Brian. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm doing well. Yeah.
And Paul, how's life? You okay?
Yeah, all good. Thank you very much. How's you?
Not bad. Bit of a broken shoulder. All the wonderful things of getting old. I think we can probably all recognise that one. I break myself for no reason these days. But other than that, I'm top. Thank you. All very, very good indeed. We've started a bit earlier today, so any mishaps or if anyone yawns, feels tired, says I need to go for a tea break, please accept that. So, but yeah, let's crack on with this last month. Who wants to go first on what's been happening for you guys in the end of November into December? Go on, Brian. Go on, Brian. You've had a more exciting time than us. You need to go for it. I'm not going to spill the beans, but you've had a more exciting time than us. Exciting in a great way.
Yeah. Let me see. Stuff was going on. We'll get serious and then we'll get lighter. I had shit news from home. I'm not going to really go into it, but it's the sort of thing that makes you worry, makes you think about living abroad. So currently just waiting to see how things respond and we'll see how things go, but it's basically marred a lot of my month this month and made it difficult to focus and play games. So you will see that when we come to the number of games played this month. What else was done? Let me see. We're not going to turn into the Seal podcast, but I mentioned that our front door was twisted last month after a quake at some point. I'm not sure it's the front door, it's actually the doorway itself. It could be the building that's been twisted slightly. I know that's the case with the windows. But I went out and picked up some insulation tape and spent half a day cleaning the door, putting it all up. And we now have I taped up the whole door. You know, this insulation tape you put all around the door. I did a great job. It looked brilliant. And then tried closing the door and the door wouldn't close. So I ended up taking it all off and then trimming bits and stuff. And half a day later, got the door seal closed with some slight bit of difficulty, but it's sealed, so it's good. I feel proud of myself for that.
Some real engineering.
The limits of my DIY skills. It's one of the reasons I asked the Seal podcast that question. It should be on their latest show. What else? I was up country at my wife's father's home place, so meeting all the in-laws. Really good. Every time we go up is like a tradition because in Japanese families, I think it's the youngest stays and all the other the kids move away. Maybe it's the eldest. It's the eldest stays and all the others move away. Where in Ireland, it's usually the youngest stays back in the farm or whatever, just going back generations. But the eldest, his family take over the farm and the farm doesn't get divided up. So in Ireland, the farms just get all split up. Made them all small. But here, the eldest keeps the farm. But if any of the younger in the family go back, you get treated and you get loads of food. So every time we go back, they put this huge bloody banquet for us. It's crazy. So every time I go up, I feel guilty. I said, don't be putting food on for me. But the lady there, my wife's cousin, she makes extremely good food. She's a cook. And her soba noodles are the best I've ever tasted. Well, actually, the only ones I like. But yeah, so it was good. We were up there. We also caught a local festival, which typically for Japanese festivals are full of music and full of music. Oh my God, what was the other thing? I wrote this down. This is how professional I get. Full of music and food. So there's loads of stalls selling what they consider festival food. And so it was really cool, really nice up there. The locals sort of stare at me because they don't tend to see many gaijin and many foreigners up there. But yeah, so it's quite weird, but I enjoy it up there. Let me see. Okay, just this last 10 days ago, speaking of quakes, I'm trying to keep this in order. There was a large quake up in Aomori, which is the snowiest place in the world. They typically get about 23 feet. I think it's 23 feet of snow a year, and the weather's such that it's like I think it's 3 degrees most of the summer or winter, so the snow doesn't melt. It just builds up and up and up. So if you go there, if you're on a bus or a car driving along, either side of the road is just, you can't see anything. It's just like a wall of snow that goes way above the height of the bus. It's crazy. But they have a meter of snow, or had a meter of snow at that point 10 days ago, and they had a huge, massive quake. About the same size, maybe a bit smaller than the one that hit in Fukushima in 2011, was it? Luckily, no deaths, and the tsunami that did arrive was less than a meter. It's enough to still knock people over, but by the time it arrived, everybody had moved out of the area. With all evacuated.
The whole tsunami side of it suddenly was like, oh god, it's going to be a tsunami, it's going to be a tsunami. Then literally world news wise, kind of harsh, it's just like it went silent from this end. And then it was just like, oh, it was all right. You're like, not being funny, it was a huge earthquake and a tsunami. So it's like, it's not all right. It's the way it's reported around the world is very different to what you guys see. So
yeah, like the tsunami, what was it? I don't know, 50 meters back in 2011. It was huge, really huge. This time it was like they thought originally it was going to be 3 meters, which would do some serious damage anyway. But just below a meter would still knock us over and pull you out to sea. You wouldn't be able to stand up in it; it'd take you away. So it wasn't big enough. People who they know what happened before, so they all get away and get up to the evacuation zones. They're quite good. But one of the main things that happens when you have quakes, the houses start to fall on people and tends to kill a lot of people, which then the houses falling cause fires because gas mains burst. Because Aomori gets so much snow, they have a different type of roof to the rest of the country. I'm not being told. Most houses down here are all slate roofs and really heavy, but because they get so much snow, they can't have the slate roof, and then you have the snow, meters of snow on top. The weight just damages the house, that they've come up with a new type of some sort of plastic sheet roof. I've not seen it, but I've seen pictures showing it. It's really thin. It's as good thermally as the others, but it's more flexible and it's light. So that when the snow is on the houses, they don't tend to buckle as much. But because of the flexibility, the houses didn't crack or break or fall apart, whatever. So less fires, nobody died, only a few people were injured. I think it was about 50 people injured. But for such a huge quake, they were really lucky.
Yeah.
So that's basically, we had since then. We had a quake. There was, when you have earthquakes, especially a big quake, you're not sure if it's the main quake or if it's going to be a forequake, one beforehand. And when you have that big quake, everybody then is nervous for the next week or so because you think there's going to be another even bigger quake come along. Thankfully, we didn't have any, but we've had some aftershocks, and we had one that hit us here, and the building was vibrating up and down. It's a bit like being on the boat in the sea. It's just going straight up and down. Disturbing. My wife came running in to shout at me, so I was distracted watching videos, watching Exodus that Ben sent on to me. Let me see. What else? The only other thing, just this weekend, one of the in-laws I didn't get to see when I was up there recently, she passed away. And it's made this weekend a total flurry of activity, which is why we're recording this many hours earlier than we should be. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Paul, for getting up early to do this. But it's
no problem.
My wife's leaving here at 4 a.m. tomorrow, so she can get into Tokyo to catch a train to go up, bring her dad up to this area. But funerals here have so much etiquette involved. My wife has spent ages watching videos on how to act at the funeral. So you got like the funerals at I think it's in a Buddhist temple usually. So you got to go up, and when you walk up, you have to bow to the altar. You walk, I don't know, it's like 3 steps, bow to the altar, walk another 3 steps, bow to the family, and you got to repeat this up, and then tap your hands a certain number of times, then do the same coming back down. It's really weird, really, really formal. So she's watching videos on how to do this. Then you have to get envelopes that you put money into to give them, but you have to put the right type of envelope. It has to have the right ribbon, which is going the right way on it, and the bow is a certain way. There's all these really extremely formal things to it. You to put notes in, you give money to the family. So you have to give, there's certain denominations you give, because the kanji in Japanese have multiple meanings. So the kanji for 4, which is yon or shi, also means death. So depending on the way you look at it, so you won't give 40,000 yen or 4,000 yen. You have to give a different number because they mean different things. So it's very weird. If you write a letter, you have to get special pens. This is crazy. You get these pens that have watered down ink, so the ink looks pale. It's to show that you've been crying when you heard of death, because the ink is run, and so it's much lighter in colour. But they sell these special pens in the stationery shops for this. It's very, very odd. But my wife's been doing this all weekend. It's just nuts, yeah. And I've only mentioned a small part of it. There's so much to this. It's just absolutely nuts. But yeah, it's crazy, really, really crazy. So she's been doing this. Oh, the notes you give can't be brand new or crisp. So it looks like you've been holding them, keeping them ready in case somebody died. You have to use crumpled notes, as though you just suddenly hit you and surprised you, and you've pulled them out of your wallet. So I don't know. It's just really,
Can't just
really,
go to the
really
cash point and get some out. It's got to be this money I've had aside. So sort of thing.
Yeah, and
wow.
they scrumple up and they put it. Yeah, it's really weird. Let me see. Because of the quakes that we had, we've spent a lot this weekend. I've spent a lot of the weekend trying to reorganize our quake food, get it up to date, go through all the food. We try and do it twice a year usually. Rotate the food, basically the dates, so you keep the longest lasting food there and take out the old ones that are about to expire. So some of our water is about to expire, so we take it out and drank. But that's about about living in Japan. Yeah. So some of the interesting stuff for living here.
I'd say, wow, it's incredible, sort of like understanding some of this stuff. And I mean, I think I said to you earlier on before we kicked off, you might not have been online yet, Paul, but we were saying about like the difference you have with us living in the UK. It's like we had a 3.3 earthquake, whatever it was, and it got mentioned in the news for about 3 minutes because someone actually felt it, and then that's it. Nothing else happens. Like, it's like the UK is just so benign to these kind of things. It's just like the worst thing we get is like, someone's like shed floated off in a flood because it rained for 2 days, and that's pretty much about it. Granted, that'll stop a train. Don't get me wrong, but that's kind of the worst we get. But I mean, to like here, like what you have to go through and the preparation and kind of foreshocks, aftershocks. It's all stuff you'd never actually think of or hear of. It's like, this is why talking to you is such a learning experience with this sort of stuff. It's awesome.
It's weird. Like, one thing I didn't say is that we have, every area, being organised, every area has an evacuation centre throughout the whole country. Typically, it's elementary schools, because every area will have two or four of them, depending on the number of kids. But the elementary schools have heaters there that will heat the whole gymnasium up. They'll have food and water for the whole area, blankets. That's all stored in these gymnasiums. So if there's a massive earthquake, like there was in Amori, all the people go towards these elementary schools because they all know them. So in central Tokyo, you'll find them all over the place. So there'll be signs up telling you where the local evacuation zone is or earthquake place. It's a different way of looking at things, a totally different way. But yeah, it's one of those things over here.
Yeah, it kind of the methods and such like you talk about from like maybe like a Western point of view, it does sound very Japanesey, if you know what I mean. Like, as in, it's very organised, clever, thought out, disciplined might be the word, that you're looking for. Really, is in doing it, like in a very correct fashion. You kind of from an outsider looking in type of view, it does seem very much, like how you would potentially anticipate a Japanese society to organise these things from the bits you see on TV in particular as well. Yes, that's really good. I mean, obviously it's out of necessity, but you can see that they do it with precision, and accuracy and intelligence, really.
It is impressive, very, very impressive. But as you say, out of necessity is the only way they can minimise the number of deaths. So I think there was if I'm right, it was in the 1920s. There's a great earthquake in Tokyo, and 200,000 people died in fires. And it's just, so they're really, really conscious. All the buildings have, like our buildings, have gas coming to every room, gas points. Do you know, so I don't know how it is. I've never lived in an apartment block in Europe, or Ireland or England, but all these rooms have gas points, so you can buy a gas heater and connect it to it. But as soon as the building shakes, all the gas cuts off, all the electricity cuts off, because they don't want to minimise fires and stuff. But yeah, it's quite weird, very weird, to be honest. But it is the way it is.
As far as I'm aware, I think your average build in England these days, maybe for I don't know, I could be totally wrong, but I believe that your average build, your flat build, like your multi-story type build, has no gas. It's always just electric, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not lived in apartments over there or flats, but weird. Yeah, we were talking about networking, how to do networking, Wi-Fi and wired. There is a big thing that's coming over here. Most of the rooms have coaxial points for your TV, and people run those for their networks as well. I've not tried it. The problem is because it all goes central. Your neighbours could could join your network without you even realising. So I don't do it, but some of the people here do. Anyway, that's news from Japan. So, Paul, do you want to go next?
Sure, yeah. Well, I've been up so well. I've been mega busy with work. It is that time of year for me. As you probably know, I'm just a one-man band, and I buy and sell used computer parts for a living. So I have to do the buying, the testing, and the selling. So at this time of year, it just gets really quite frantic, and everybody wants everything yesterday. And as you've no doubt been aware of at the moment, there's been a massive increase in the price of PC memory. So to some degree, thankfully, I had stock, which I've been buying at the old prices. So, for example, like a 16 gigabyte DDR5 kit might have only been selling secondhand for about, say, £70-ish, and not 16, a 32 gigabyte kit might have been selling for around about £80-ish secondhand. So I'd normally try to give about 50% of the price. You like to double up because, of course, I've got costs, fees, and all the rest of it. So you don't really get you're not making a total killing. But at the moment, you are making a bit of a killing because you're selling stuff that you've bought at the old prices, and you're coming into these crazy, massively super inflated prices all of a sudden. So you're making a bit of a killing. Not a bad thing from my point of view, of course, but also the buying in prices. It's like, for example, I bought some 64 gigabytes yesterday. In fact, I bought 2 sets over the past couple of days, and I paid £250 for 64 gigabytes. Of RAM, and that basically is more than what I would have sold it for, say, a month ago. I wouldn't have even given that. I'd have given, say, I'd have anticipated selling it for about £220 second hand, or 200 quid-ish, and I'd have probably paid about £100. Whereas at the moment, that will probably sell, because it's Christmas time as well, for around about £550. And that's just absolutely crazy.
It's nuts.
It's gone crazy.
It's even, the thing is, you're not taking the mick. If you look at anywhere, shop, scan, overclockers, anything, that's now standard pricing for memory.
Well,
it's just become the norm. It's just bizarre. Literally, in the space of 2 to 3 weeks, it's just gone mental.
You could say we've kind of been sort of preconditioned into this situation, in the respect of only recently there was the COVID scenario and the mining scenario with all the graphics cards going through the roof. So any sort of gamer that's probably, or PC person that's probably over a certain age, will have already understood what can happen in these situations, because they've gone and paid a fortune potentially for a graphics card back in 21, 22. And the prices typically have just started to really sort of I don't know if it's we've kind of become normalised to the silly prices, or the prices have come down. But what I will say, and what people have been saying, and what I've been reading online as well, is that when you're going to be buying your parts, potentially, when you buy a motherboard now, they might even be saying, look, you can't just buy the motherboard, you got to buy, people are going to be saying you can't just buy the RAM, we want you to buy it with other things, because they don't just come in, buy the RAM and then flip it. or come in and buy the RAM. They want you to come in and buy a RAM, and they might say you've got to buy it with a motherboard, or they'll give you a special discount deal, because all these new motherboards and all these new cases and all these other bits that you buy to put the system together are going to kind of sit on the shelves and they're going to rot away. So if you've got an half-decent system now and you probably want to upgrade a few parts, you're going to probably find power supplies, all those kinds of things are going to drop in price because people are not upgrading. They can't afford to. The prices have just gone wacky. I mean, 550 quid for some 60, and I tell you what, that's almost cheap to some degree. But what I will say is, what I have noticed is that places like overclockers, I keep my eye on overclockers and CCL computers. It's not an advert. I don't buy anything for. I have bought things from them from the past, and I do go on the forums, etc. But we're not sponsored by them in any which way, shape, or form. But I use them to check the prices, to see what they've got in stock, to see what I should be given for second hand, to give me an idea of the flow of what's happening out there. And what I will say, they have started to get some kits in for about 300 quid. Which is for 32 gigabytes, whereas them kits were about 380 quid. So stock is starting to come in and prices are probably going to normalise. And after Christmas, then prices might drop back down to, say, like 250 quid for like a brand new kit of 32 gigabytes. That'd be my guesstimate. But it's still highly inflated compared with what the prices are at the moment. So it's been mad busy. And I tell you, so even DDR4's gone through the roof. I sold a second-hand kit of 64 gigabyte RGB Corsair Pro. It's 64, so it's 232s, 3,600 megahertz, and I sold it second-hand for £289. The guy was overjoyed. He messaged me back, telling me how well it's working, blah, blah, blah. He was like overjoyed. A guy bought a kit off me last night. I'll answer messages at all hours of the day because it's another sale. You know what I mean? If I don't answer, I might not get the sale. And the guy bought some Kingston Fury bit. I can't remember if it was Fury Beast or whatever. DDR4 again. And I think it was about £270 for 64 gigabytes. 270, that's DDR4. Second hand. It's not even brand new. That's second hand. And I've even bought in a brand new kit of RAM, which is you don't see very often on DDR4. Not for me, because I don't buy anything brand new from any wholesalers. It's all second hand. It's all people's cast-offs. And I paid £100 for this kit of RAM, and I put it up there at 450 quid. And that's brand new because there's no brand new stuff.
You just dig it through my desk.
So, but RAM, honestly, people are saying, oh, you should put it on a chain and wear it around your neck. It's like gold. You know what I mean? Like, like the old bling, like a hip hop thing, like a bling bling sort of thing. So, prices have gone absolutely, as everybody knows, have gone bonkers. But I anticipate the price will droop a bit after Christmas naturally. And I tell you what, even 16 gigabytes of DDR5, I'm selling them for about £170, £180 for 2 times 8 gigabytes. People are snapping them up. Yeah. People would turn their nose up at it. They'd be like, why would I want 16 gigabytes of DDR5? People would turn their nose. That would be a snobby thing. Your typical PCer, you know what I mean? And also, I've been watching some YouTubes, and the big guys are saying, look, don't waste your money on 64 gigabytes. If you are a gamer, buy 32 gigabytes. It is plenty. Do not future-proof at this present time, or whatever you think it's going to do. Buy the 32 gigabytes if you're going to buy anything. Don't buy 64. So, but if you need 64, then you need 64. Yeah. What are you going to do?
I did the same thing. When I rebuilt mine over the summer because my board failed, I was just like, oh, okay, I'll put it back together. And I had the memory sitting there, and I tried to put another 32 in with mine because I had it laying there. We'll consider doing an upgrade at the start of next year, actually. And it didn't fit because my water cooler fouled it. So I ended up selling it ridiculously for 35 quid. But let's not talk about that. So I could be rolling in money now, but I'm not. But but it's kind of like 32 gig is amazing. Apparently, the difference between 32 and 64 is like 5 frames a second at best on like 2 games or something. So, I mean, it's nice, but in the current currency that they're trying to sell it at.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
Previously, it was a potential why not. You know, like add like another £70-80 onto your build. If you're already chucking 1,500 quid in or £1,000, another 80 quid, you know what? I'll get the 64 gigabyte. Why not? But when all of a sudden it's doubled in price and it's more than your graphics card, it's like, yeah, I'll have a little think about that. Yeah, I'll get that later, maybe. You know what I mean? So
it's mad. It's like you would think about it. You said it's more than the graphics card. I mean, that a set of 64 gig memory now. There was an article, you sent it to me or I sent it to you, is literally someone was like, literally it's now cheaper to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro than it is to try and buy 64 gig of RAM, which is just ridiculous. Absolute insanity. And it is my graphics card, it's like nearly £200 more than a 9070 XT used one. It's just pathetic, mental. But you can see why people are trying to snap it up. They'll pay half decent money if you're doing it for it, because then you said the rest of the parts are cheap still. I mean, graphics cards are a really good price at the moment. Main boards are insanely cheap. I just had a quick nose on Amazon, and even processors are still there. So it's literally nothing else has caught up with the curve. So you can save a ton on that, and then you're kind of like, well, I want to build a PC. You're kind of in a catch-22. You want to build a PC, you need memory. This is kind of what you said about the 16 gig thing at the moment. Not being funny, it'll get your machine working and it will run most stuff. But it's not going to be perfect. But then when the insanity moves away, you buy another 2 sticks and stick it in there and give yourself 32.
Yeah.
But £100 for 16
But like
gig.
I was saying previously, I mean, you could build, even when there was a graphics card shortage and the price went through the roof, you could still build the PC and get it up and running, unless you've got no IGP in there. But you probably could get some real rubbish graphics card for still like 20 quid or so, even during the COVID crazy mining times, because it's just like, it wasn't a gaming graphics card, so it wasn't desirable. So you could still get like a display adapter of some variety. At least you can get your system up and running and it's sat there waiting. You could have the best system in the world, no memory, it ain't working, you know? So the memory is such an essential part, you know? So yeah, unless some clever person comes up with some way to use virtual memory off your SSD, you can still run the... I'd say that'd be really cool, wouldn't it, right? If they could use your SSD as virtual memory with no memory in your system just to get you going, that'd be some clever super duper adapter, you know, like you get them. I use DIMM adapters, you know, for testing laptop RAM. I just stick them in my test system. I've just got 2 DIMM adapters, but maybe if you could get a DIMM adapter and it goes into your SSD drive and they could somehow use it as virtual memory, that would be so cool with that. I mean, it might ruin it because of all the writes you do into it, but it could be, I don't know, some bonkers idea that just came to mind.
That's
so, yeah.
No, it's fair enough. I've literally just looked on Amazon now. I know Crucial's the company that's decided to pull out of the whole thing, isn't it? They've just pulled out the sort of like retail memory side of things. There's a Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM set, 128 gig on Amazon. How much is it?
What is it? SODIMM or is it Is it?
It's proper DDR5 sticks, and it's the Crucial Pro, which is nice, but it's kind of, if you look at it versus anything else, it's lower end of the market. Kind of, it's no pretty RGB on it or anything. It's literally a black
watching
stick.
Paul turn around to pick some out.
So it's 2 64 gig sticks.
He's got Paul.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, Paul's going through his memory tub. Literally, that's like. That's the same as owning a jewelry
honestly,
store.
You see this little bag here, right? I'll show you this. Right, so this is, I'd make a little note on all the RAM. I'm not sure well you can read that. In fact, it's back to front. But basically it says like, let's have a look at it. £312 I paid for this on the 28th of the 11th. I write the date just in case. And that's to
sure.
get a focus.
128
gig SODIMMs, yeah. So it's 64 gigabytes each. I pay 300 quid. Honestly, they're probably worth about £900.
Oh my God.
You know.
You couldn't be, you're £21.99 off.
Yeah, and I snapped it up. I snapped it up at 300 quid because I'm a bit of a I have to be a speculator because I buy and sell. I have to speculate. I have to think about what it might be worth. So yeah, boom, I picked it up. I couldn't resist. So yeah,
£921 for 128 gig of RAM.
Yes,
you could build a PC for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Really but I mean, some of the RAM I've bought in at certain prices. I tell you what though, there's still kits turning up at £100 second hand. So But sometimes when you buy them, you'll end up with what you might call seller regret. I snap it up within seconds of it coming onto the market, and then they'll say, "Oh, you got that quickly. Oh, that seems unusual. Let me have a rethink about this." So what I always do, I always send them a message afterwards saying, "Oh, wow, that was great timing," as if I've been watching at all times. Yeah, thank you very much. I can now finish my build. You know what I mean? Put a little bit of, please don't change. Please don't change your mind. I'm desperate for it. So, but yeah. So anyway, that's probably a little bit whatever. But you've got to do it, otherwise you get as buyer regret, and there's such a thing as seller regret. That's what I found out from buying and selling. People do change their mind afterwards. So, but that's what you got to do.
Especially now.
I can't believe laptop RAM is.
There we go. Memory information for the people.
What was that, Brian?
I can't believe laptop RAM has hit that prices as well. So I thought you have to use the adapter.
That'll get even. Well, I use the adapter just to plug because I don't plug it into a laptop. I plug it into the adapter to test it on my desktop PC.
Yeah.
You just get like one of the. I've got two. Because obviously, normally buy them in like I've got DDR4 and DDR5 ones, and they just clip in. But I tell you what, the cheapest, the price way, anyone out there that wants a bit of a tip, generally speaking, right, if you want to go get it and do it cheaply, buy a couple of these adapters that change SODIMMs into regular sticks of memory. These are about $10 each from AliExpress, maybe even cheaper. And basically, the SODIMMs are slightly less desirable, and you'll find plenty of them popping up for about 120 quid. I won't buy them at 120 quid for 216s because that's the kind of price. It's more. But you probably will find them second-hand popping up at 120 quid, 130 quid. So a couple of adapters and these, then you're in at a cheaper price. You're in at about 150 quid for 32 gigabyte. If you get some 5,600 megahertz RAM, they usually about CL40 or something. Well, then you could have your system up and running. Or even if you buy one of these and just buy an 8 gigabyte SODIMM DDR5 just to get your system running, you could have your system running for about 40 quid because this 8 gigabyte laptop SODIMMs are not desirable at all because most people have already got 2 8s in their laptop that they're going to upgrade to 32 or 64. So you buy one of these sticks for a tenner, or buy 2 of them and get yourself a couple of 8s for say 30 quid a piece. Boom, you're into some cheap DDR5 and your system's up and running. So, but yeah, that's what I've noticed.
That's a real Paul's tech tip moment. Excellent, well done.
It's too much green tea already this morning.
I've just found 2 sticks of DDR4 in my drawer when I was talking a minute ago, boxed. So I'll start the bidding at £3.5 million. I'll accept 5.
Yeah, it's gone bonkers.
So outside of your memory and purchasing antics, anything else been going on?
I've sold my OLED, my OLED Steam Deck, because an OLED Steam Deck is a little bit like an OLED Switch 1. Initially, really, they're kind of the same system as the later release hardware-wise internally. Obviously, you're paying for the display, and I haven't really been using it so much, but I still want one. And because I buy and sell things, I do end up with Steam Decks and such like. So I bought in like an old 64 gigabyte one ages ago that's been sat down there, which I kept on promising myself, we're going to upgrade. And this is probably about 2 or 3 months ago, I decided to upgrade it. And I've just put a 1 terabit, what they call NVMe, the 2230 drives in there. So it's gone from 64 gigabyte to 1 terabit, and it's a decent speed drive as well. And I paid about £45 for it from CCL Computers. And so, so I sold my OLED, and I bought my OLED ages ago, and I bought it on eBay, and it was someone's brand new one. And I only paid something like 420 quid for it, and I sold it for something like 415 about 2 years later. So I did okay, no complaints. I generally find if I'm going to buy something secondhand, if I'm going to keep it, then I'll make sure that I'm keeping it, and it's whatever I might sell it for in a year or so's time, I'll get my money back. So it's one of the benefits of buying and selling computer parts. Obviously, you can buy it at a cheap price and don't lose any money when you sell it, really. I very rarely buy brand new unless it's really, really cheap. So.
No, that's cool. I mean, the OLED was kind of the draw I had to it was purely that panel. I mean, the rest of it is is the same. Wi-Fi is different, isn't it? I think from memory, I want to say. But I mean, then the LCD, I mean, the first one I ever played on, a friend at work had one, and that's what kind of like got me into looking at the decks. And the screen's still fantastic. It's really, really good. It doesn't have the same issues the original Switch had. It's still a really nice, bright, decent display on it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I went for it as like, I'm just going to buy this once, I'll treat myself sort of thing, and got the OLED one when I did. And the screen on that is beautiful. I don't regret it at all, but it's so much money versus like a used LCD one, which is still a perfectly functional, brilliant little console. Really is.
Yeah, the Switch LCD screen has kind of give LCD screens a bit of a bad name because it is an horrible LCD screen on the Switch one, really. It's pretty... It is you know, I won't say they cheaped out on it because perhaps that was the one they had to go with at the time to keep the price. But like you said, the Steam Deck LCD versus the Steam Deck OLED, it's like maybe it's like a 30% improvement, and it is noticeable and it's a bit bigger, and you do appreciate it, but it's not like a big wow moment like going from a Switch LCD to a Switch OLED. It's like whoosh. It's like wow, what a major difference. Yeah, so absolutely.
I keep thinking about the whole upgrade thing on mine next year, possibly going to 1 terabyte or something on it. But I've got a 512 gig one, and I just stuck in one of the micro SD cards in there. It was purely a project at the time when I did it, because you think to yourself, a micro SD card is going to be absolute crap versus the internal memory. It's not going to run anything. But you put smaller games on it, it'd been absolutely spot on, perfect, absolutely faultless. You get a decent one. Okay, I bought the SanDisk, what's the golden yellow ones, whatever model that is, but it's the one with like the high transfer rate in it that's for like 4K video, whatever it is. I bought one of those, completely faultless. You wouldn't even know it was running off either of them. I split between the two based on size, kind of like you do with the Xbox Series S. If you have an external drive on that, you split the games on what's the faster drive. But I'm not really sure I can tell the difference. They're cracking, really do really, really well with that tech. And unlike the Ally, it doesn't eat its own memory card slot and die. It's been working fine for the last year.
Only thing you got to be wary of is if you decide to upgrade your drive in your machine, make sure you do take out the SD card, because if you don't take it out and you open it up, it can snap the SD card. You know, like you leave it in, you forget to take it out.
On the plastic.
Yeah, if you forget to take it out while you're doing the upgrade, you'll end up snapping your SD card. So, but yeah, the SD cards. One thing you didn't do, I can't remember. Gabe, the Steam guy, he didn't cheap out. So, like, even your NVMe drives that you can put in there, it's like you think, oh, well, should I go for like a high-speed one or not go for one? Does it really make any difference? But based on my research, that the faster ones do work in there. So you can get the benefits of it. It is worth paying that little bit more rather than putting in, say, like a slower transfer rate. So, but yeah, great device. I won't knock it. And I play plenty of games on it when I've got it hooked up to the TV. That's when I'm more likely to play it, or when it's summertime out in the garden. But you do need that shade. That's one of the things that these handhelds have not quite got right. If you're on holiday thinking I'm going to chill out playing my games on the beach, unless you're in the shade, it ain't going to happen.
Sega Game Gear had it right. We had that huge piece of plastic, like a hood, that went over the top of it. So you basically gave your Sega Game Gear a conservatory over the top of itself on the front. And it stopped all the sunlight coming in, and it's like, that's brilliant. The glory days of that. Yeah, I should look up these things. I've got a Game Gear that I got converted to a proper backlit screen, LCD screen last year. It was really, really good. And you go looking at, I'm going to get some peripherals and stuff on it now. This would be really cool. You look it up, and it's just like the stuff you used to have for it, like the magnifying glass on the front of it, which was literally like just like sticking a bucket on the front with a magnifying glass on it. It's nuts where we've gone through with it. But I mean, yeah, maybe that tech still works. I don't know. You need to have a nice little pull-out veranda across the front of your Steam Deck instead now, so it folds away. Maybe that's the tech.
Yeah, that'd be cool, like you say. Yeah, well, you know, if you had it like you mentioned then, Ben, if you kind of maybe opened up like a fan like that, so you could like push it in rather than fold it down, you know, like a fan, like it'd open up like a paper fan or like a material fan. That'd be a really cool idea, actually. That would really help. Otherwise, if you want to play it on the beach, you're going to have to put a towel over your head and, you know, just cover yourself up. But it's pointless being on the beach. You might as well just go back to the room. So,
I mean, that is the epitome of a first world problem. Oh no, I can't play my Steam Deck on this hot beach while I'm on holiday.
Yeah. It's a terrible.
But it's a problem we've all faced.
Yeah. Woe is me, innit?
Yeah.
But the fan idea, Gabe, if you are listening, you're welcome to pull on that one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. If we get a Concertina fan on the next Steam Deck, you know why.
We'll have to get a patent pending, won't we? We'll have to get one going.
Very good.
They can make money from it. Different designs on each one. They open up, it's like Gordon Freeman on it, or the Steam logo, or a picture of Gabe's face with that kind of thing he did.
As mad as that sounds, that's a really good idea, because with home printing and such like these days, people send you in any old design and you could customize it, as long as you could maybe have like a little special folding machine, which I dare say they do have, because you can make fans and whatnot. Get some kind of little folding machine, and I don't know. I reckon there's a home business in there to be had for sure.
They're trying to give a name for it now.
End up an Etsy. That's it.
Well, you could just call it Steam fan or whatever, or a handheld fan or whatever, like gaming fan or whatever. Because fan is in like your name. Like I'm a fan of gaming. Plus, it's like it fans out or whatever. Yeah.
You got to give it some kind of trendy name, right? Like I know Steam, the deck blade or something.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah. Now you're getting cutting edge. Now that sounds good. I can see the YouTube adverts now for it everywhere. Everyone's going to be so fed up with YouTube adverts every time,
Right. So is that your month? I know we literally just spoke about your purchasing habits this month, but it seems it has been busy. I mean, this is a bit of a spectator sport with video. We can see look like a grenade's gone off in his office behind him of computer parts.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like heaven to me. But
it is a bit bonkers. It is a bit bonkers. I mean, if you go like over here, look at all this.
Oh my god!
That's RAM, motherboards, and then if you can't really see, but beyond, hold on a minute. Oh, you can see that like the tubs over here. They're like full of graphics cards and stuff. These tubs here. I've got 3090s, all kinds of stuff all over the place.
11
so, but yeah. Yep, just put this.
Spend hours in that room.
Yeah, that's
just rolling in graphics cards.
Yeah, it's madness, honestly.
No, guys, successful. Guys, going really well for you. It's kind of one of those times where it does pay off to be doing what you do, I imagine, isn't it? Really. So,
absolutely.
And how's your month been then?
My month, what's been going on for me? Was it? So mid-November, wasn't it? Last time we recorded. What's been going on? Literally, we're now coming back towards for what is the cryogenics industry I work in. Show season starts like early part of the year, so where a lot of show seasons and stuff for industries sort of mid-year across the hot of the months. Around March is when our big one starts. So work's just been really, really hectic. I need to get loads of stuff finished for the start of next year. We're now looking into like business plans, all this kind of thing. So it's been pretty work heavy, to be honest. Family have been busy as well. There's the usual thing that happens around Christmas, shows, all these kind of things going on. It's literally a pretty boring month to talk about, to be honest with you. But it's just been that, and then in between it has been squeezing in playing video games, to be honest. The only other things we've done, it was my anniversary on the 6th. We went out a really nice meal and went to Oxford and stuff. Walked around, did a Christmas market. Oxford Christmas Market is the most disappointing Christmas market ever. For like a huge city that everyone knows, Oxford, it's literally like half a street and nothing in there. Basically, it's just a load of food stores. Okay, that's not bad, but disappointing. But I mean, outside of that, it hasn't really been a lot going on. It's been a battle for time. So the only thing I can be happy with is we have finished Christmas shopping and I've managed to wrap everything for my wife. So I'm kind of ahead on that front, which is cool. I mean, that's been pretty much it. I mean, the most exciting things have actually been playing games when I've had a chance, and I have snuck in a lot of time on that. My wife has walked in the room and just going to sigh, is like, oh, you're on the TV again. It's like, yeah, I expect this to happen for the next 30 days. It's like time is ticking now. I've got a month left to get as many game completions in as I humanly can. So that's a short month. Not really on. I'll put a Christmas tree up.
You bought a new TV as well, I believe.
Oh yeah, we did get a TV for the house for Christmas. Yeah, my old Samsung has been, 10, 11 years of service after getting it for free from my old job. The power button plays up. It occasionally switches between channels and flickers and turns itself off. So Black Friday, we had a load of Amazon vouchers from sending stuff back, and kind of just been sat there for a year basically. So we picked up a screen. So it's same size, 55 again, but it is 4K, which is cool. Over Christmas we spend a lot of time sat at home. and just chill out and have family time and stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah, that works out. We'll go with that. So it is nice to have, to be honest with you. It's weird because you look at it, it's like, oh, it's the same size as the old one. Is that new? It's like you turn it on and like, yeah, it's definitely new. But yeah, it didn't spend a fortune on it, but I think it was like it dropped to like, for like 24 hours, it dropped to £239 or something, I think it was, which for a 4K HDR TV is pretty impressive. So I'm chuffed with it. Yeah. It's not going to be an OLED. It's nothing spectacular that someone would spend £1,000 on, but works for me. Yeah, I think that's pretty much been it month-wise for me. It's really boring versus you two. Sorry. It's like it's the busiest time of the year. It's so weird. It's like you suddenly realise that you've lost like mid-November till now, whatever, the 14th of December. It's like, what have you done? Go to work. Wow, that's amazing. That's pretty much it. So I guess I'll just move straight on to the next section. So played games. I'll start this one. It's the biggest surprise for everyone. I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon.
Another car game. Oh.
Another car game, yeah, exactly. So Kev Horsley and some guys at work, we started playing Horizon 5 again. We've all completed it. But we kind of has been cracking on and going into the dailies and weeklies again and just playing it. It's an open world game, so it's just fun to play. So we're playing that. Forza Motorsport 7. Oh, look, another driving game. Surprise, Ben. I'm now on the last championship section. It gives you a load of verticals with tons of races in it. I'm now in that final bit, so I may, if I'm lucky, be able to squeeze that in as a finish before the end of the year. But we'll see how we go, because the last races are pretty tricky. Gran Turismo 7. The Spec 3 update came out about a week ago, which is literally, they've done a huge update they've been talking about for 6 months, which is new cars, new tracks, all this kind of thing on there. It's the biggest one they've done in a long, long time. So I was jumped straight back on it. There's a load of cool new cars in it. Ironically, the most exciting thing for me is they put a 3-cylinder, like 40 horsepower Fiat Panda on it, which was just amazing. So I've done that and I've tuned it up to a race spec Panda. I think I sent you guys a picture of it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
The pink Panda apparel.
They used to.
So I've recreated that. So
was it Juliet? I sort of remember from BBC in the 70s or the 80s. Was it Juliet Bravo had that TV show? They had a police panda. It was a British police car. It was a panda. Out. Was that? Or am I just? I
think they called him a panda, but they do actually make a Fiat Panda. But I think they called him a panda for some other reason. You know, like
police cars are white and black.
Yeah.
So they probably just called them pandas.
They did make them. Okay, it's not Nightmare or something going in my mind, but yeah. I just remember seeing something like that. But yeah, very good. Sorry to disrupt you.
So I played a lot of that. No, it's fine. Don't worry. I played a load of that. Been racing my pink Panda around quite a lot on Monza for fun and taking it around Spa, you know, like you would do with the Fiat Panda. That's it. So that's kind of played for those three. What else have I done? I picked up Battletoads. They re-released an Xbox version of it. What must be 4 or 5 years ago now? Am I right in saying? I think it was like 2020, 2021. So originally, old Nintendo NES game, I believe, was the first Battletoads game. So it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. And I put about 1 or 2 hours into it when it first came out because I was excited for it. Completely forgot about it. I think it's when I came back out of having an operation for something, and I sat there for a week off. And I've gone back to it now and realised that it is pretty hilarious, has loads of really dodgy puns and things in it, and it's been quite fun to play. So I'm sort of picked that up actually yesterday afternoon and started playing it again. Our monthly game, Sackboy's Big Adventure, which is probably quite a big talking point for all three of us actually. Start with me. Oh my God, how have I missed this being in my collection and not played it for so many years? Genuinely, if anyone owns Sackboy's Big Adventure on PlayStation, it's also about 12 quid for the PC on loaded.com at the moment. It is one of the best 3D platformer games and kind of adventures I've played in a long, long time. It's unbelievable. It does everything right. The graphics are good, the controls are good, the storyline's good, the mechanics are brilliant, and just it's really, really interesting. A really, really great game. I mean, we've all played Tearaway this year, and that was really phenomenal and kind of was a standout for this year. And then Sackboy is like another level above that. I really want to go and play through it all again. It's one of those games I am definitely going to go back to. It's going to be an evergreen where I try and do all the knitted night challenges on it, which would drive most people up the wall. But I love trying to get gold on everything, so we'll go back. I'm not sure if you guys have finished it, so I won't say anything more than that, to be honest with you. But yeah, absolute cracker. I played My Friend Pedro, if you've heard of it. That was an impulse play on my Steam Deck. My notes for it here was absolutely batshit crazy, but a blast to play for the 5 hours that it was to get through it. Completely mental. It's literally some bloke with different kinds of guns just blowing the hell out of everything and shooting people with a kind of possessed banana talking to you because you're going insane or something for the whole thing. It's absolutely obscure, but again, really well put together. The physics are good, the mechanics are good, and it plays really, really well. It's one of those ones that I've always seen turn up on Game Pass and Steam just to as a scroll past, like, what the hell's that? That doesn't look interesting. A friend of mine, Paul Glasgow, played it, I think it was the start of the year, and said, actually, it was quite fun, have a stab. So I picked it up as a quick play, and it was decent. What else in there? Super Puzzle Fighter 2. An old Capcom classic. They made a remix of that. I think it's 360 era, actually, rather than even Xbox One. It's one I've never managed to complete. It's a Tetris-style game, but I've always been utterly crap at it. I cannot beat anyone on it. It's like I never work out the mechanics and how to get the combos and beat stuff. And I always got beaten by the last boss. I sat and got angry with it for about 3 hours a couple of days ago and finally beat it. So I've now completed that one as well, which is quite cool.
Nice.
So there's a massive list here of me just playing random games in my spare time this month. This is where all my spare time's gone. Anyone heard of it? Split Second, which was a racing game that was on the 360.
No.
It was one of the last kind of big games I can remember of Disney Interactive coming out with. So they're owned by, I'm assuming, Warner Brothers or whatever it is, or something like that now. But it was a 360 era racer, and the whole idea of it was that you are part of a game, like a TV show, and you're almost the stunt driver in it. So it's kind of, I put down here it's a bit of Ridge Racer meets Burnout meets Mario Kart, because it's kind of a track racing game. It has the damage and stuff that Burnout has, and it has the power-ups of Mario Kart in it. So it's a little weird, but incredible graphics engine. It's really cool. I went back just when I went back and put the 360 on in our bedroom a couple of weeks ago to have a go on it. Really, really decent. I got addicted to it. So another racing game, oddly enough, I've got addicted to, but quite cool. It's an old one. It's probably pennies now if you can find a copy of it for the 360, but it's a pretty cool little game. And the last one I've got on here, and my other completion actually this month as well, is New Super Lucky's Tale, which it was, I think, when the original Xbox One came out, I want to say, it came with that. It was either that or it was the One X, and they were flaunting the whole 4K thing. It could do 4K 60 FPS games. And it's a 3D platformer. You're a little fox, and it's all kind of cartoony graphics, but it's, again, put together really well. It's a company called Playful, I think it was, that Microsoft really flaunted as this big studio they're doing all these great things for the Xbox with. I don't think they've ever released another game, ironically. I think that was literally their one-hit wonder was this game. They made Super Lucky's Tale, and it came out and it played quite well. And then they just, rather than fixing loads of bugs in it, they just made new Super Lucky's Tale, which upgraded the graphics to run proper 4K. I don't know. It was something like that anyway. I believe that was the case. But I got about 3/4 of the way through it, maybe half 3/4 away, about 3-4 years ago when it came out. And I went back to it yesterday, sat on the sofa and finished it. So again, another top quality little platformer.
Nice.
And I think it was about 8 hours to finish it. I think something close to that. So I've had a bit of a tour de force of playing loads of random games and finishing things off, which is quite a nice feeling for the end of the year, actually. There's a few that still need to be done. There's a few hanging over me still, but I'm pretty sure I'll get there. But that is, I think, if I scroll down. Oh no, there's one other thing on there. One that you guys have completely finished, and I'm gutted I can't do it. I cannot finish Child of Light. No matter how hard I try, I'm just too stupid to make my team actually be able to beat stuff. I think I've now reached, I think I'm up to the last boss. I think I'm about to face it. I'm not sure, but there was a fight I had to do against this kind of sea serpent thing yesterday, and it took me like 8 goes to beat it because I just kept choosing the wrong characters. I love it. I know we said we all really liked it and I love playing it, but I'm just so bad at it. I can't work out why.
You get there.
I must
I
admit,
never seem to get. Sorry, carry on.
I was going to say I've not finished it. Brian's finished it. He's the man with the with all the knowledge on that one.
I remember the game getting really tough at the end. So yeah, but you'll get it. We can talk off air about it. Okay.
It's the character. I just cannot seem to get that character balance right. I just never can seem to do it. I'll get halfway through a battle and think to myself, I've caught it off, and I've managed to work out a loop of setting things back and stuff like that so they can't attack me. And then I just utterly fudge it, and that's it. And I die straight away because everything does so much damage at that point. When you screw it up, you really screw it up.
Yeah, it's a matter of trying to prioritize killing the enemies in a certain order, and then making sure you get your health back your support team in certain times just to prop you back up again. But yeah, I have
a feeling it really is about just trying to kill the outsiders rather than the main boss in a lot of situations, isn't it? Because they just sit there otherwise and like curse you or whatever it is, or they just keep doing that additional damage. But yeah, I looked at it, I started playing it again, and it's probably on quick resume on my PlayStation. I just got annoyed with it and turned it off again. So it's nothing to do with the game. The game's great. It's just that I suck. Yeah, that was my last one. Anyway, so that was quite a long list, probably quite a car-heavy list as well, surprisingly enough for me. But there you go. That's me. So, Brian, I know you said you have a lot of time to play games this month with other stuff going on, and sounds like you had a hectic month. But what have you been playing?
Let me see. I finished Forspoken, and I had written a huge
cool
about this, and it's not there. So I don't know where I wrote it. But the game is a lot better than people made out. I enjoyed it so much I was really tempted to do New Game Plus and just keep playing the game because I really wanted to explore more of it. This maybe I wrote this in my head, but I didn't actually write it down. But you're up against four big bad guys. At the start they tell you there's like these four gods you've got to attack, and after you've beaten the second one, you start to fear it's going to become this just repetition. You do the same thing over and over again. But they change the story up, and there's real impactful emotional moments in it quite early on, and then later on you start to come across more, and there's a huge, 2, maybe 3 twists in the story, and the last one really caught me off. I did not expect it because you play games and you start to expect you know what's going to happen, and this really caught me off. I thought it was really good. Story's really good. Everybody talked about the speech. It is slightly annoying. It's repetitive is the main thing. You talked to the cuff. There's a magic cuff you have in your arm, but you keep talking through it all, and it seems like there's only 10 or 12 barks, and they just keep repeating the whole time, and it gets a bit annoying. But you can lower down the number of them, but they still happen, and over the entirety of the game, it really does get to be a bit tiring. But the game is excellent. The battle it's different to most other games I've played, and it works really well. The maneuverability around the world is really good. You get to move. You build up all these different moves for not quite flying, but gliding over water and swinging off stuff. Sorry, it's really good. I enjoyed the game a lot, and it got slated, unfortunately, in the media at the start. I think the first trailer that they showed, everybody turned on the voice actress, but it was really good. It's well acted. The one thing I didn't like, the artwork is great, the graphics brilliant, but there are some scenes where it zooms in on the main character, and the graphics looks dodgy. You got that uncanny valley type thing, and it begins to look really weird. So that's the only drawback in the entirety of the game. I liked it a lot, and you start to develop or start to care about what's happening in the story. So I would recommend people try it. It is, if it hasn't already come off PlayStation Plus, it will be off very, very soon. So I would recommend trying it if you get a chance. The other game I've been playing a lot of is Detroit Become Human. I haven't finished it. It's on PlayStation next to me. I have maybe about 20 minutes left on it at most.
Oh, wow.
We had it on the squeaky wheel, but we're not doing another squeaky wheel this week, so I started that. I wanted to play it because one of the junior high school students I work with, he must be third grade. He's like 15 or so. It's his favorite game. He actually wrote a discussion about the game in English. I thought if he's that impressed with the game, I'll try it. It is excellent. I'm not a big fan of the Quantic Dreams, I think is the name of the company, or is it something Cage? The guy who made the game. I'm not a big fan of his games in the past, but this is actually excellent. The graphics are brilliant, and the storyline's good. When I play these games, this type of game, I want the best outcome. It's just, I don't want bad outcomes in the game. So if you played Walking Dead, do you remember the Walking Dead game? I can't remember who made the games. There's
Telltale stuff.
That's the one. Whenever you make a decision, you get this thing pops up saying, so and so will remember this. And the very first time I played the Walking Dead game, that popped up, I freaked out, and I stopped playing the game and left it for 2 years because I didn't know what it meant. I thought, shit, I've made a bad decision, but it's going to come back and affect me. So I just left the game. I got so stressed with it. And in this, you get to see people's opinion of you go up or down depending on your responses. It freaks me out so much. And having a computer game think less and less and less of you as you go through the game. I thought, I don't need that in a game. I have that in real life. I do that to myself. So I do not need a game doing the exact same. I play games to get away from reality. So anyway, so I got a guide. So when it comes to these weird decisions, I got the guide to tell me. So it takes away this whole stress of it. And I just play the game like a big long story. And it's just made the game amazing for me. I really, really love this game. It is, the story is slightly obvious, the analogy of the civil rights movement in the US, and then the androids trying to become seen as not slaves or being real life thing. You hit about the head about this a lot. There's sections. Yeah, it's quite early on. You see androids get on the bus, and they get on the back of the bus. They have their own bus stop, and it's really obvious what they're trying to drive at. And then the whole thing, there's loads of links with the civil rights movements. But maybe it might have been a better story if it was less obvious. At least for me, it might have been.
No, right, okay.
Maybe for other people, they wouldn't have noticed what the hell was going on. I don't know. The junior high school students spotted it anyway, but I don't know. See, I'm hoping there's going to be something else, another theme going through it, and it's not just that, because I don't write stories, I can't write stories, but I'm hoping there's more to it than just that one big thing. I really do. I love the game. The graphics are excellent. The characters seem real. The responses, you get the choice, and the responses are really interesting, and they seem real. Like, let me see. That's it. I'm not quite finished. I'm on the last chapter of the game. I'm halfway through it, so maybe 10, 15 minutes left in the game. But I've really enjoyed this. Really, really properly enjoyed it. It's quite good. And yeah, I would recommend it to anybody else if they want to try it. Have either of you played it?
Yeah, I've played it. I'm about halfway through it, but this is based on when it first came out. I've sort of played, I played maybe about 4 hours of it, and then I played like another session, maybe about 3 or 4 hours, and I did go back to it, so I was showing somebody it. And at the point where you sat in you kind of got to a point where you're in the warehouse. It's like you're like in an underground car park or something.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am. But I'm at that point where if I go back to the game, I'm not quite sure what's going on. I know there were a lot of adventure to get there, like an escape thing. I had to, I think there were like some baddie just before that bit to get into that. You got into a house or something and something odd had happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I am. And yes, it's a game I would love to go back to. Like you said, them graphics, I mean, especially considering how long ago it came out, that's not a new game. Those graphics, they are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
scenes
great.
with the rain dripping off them, and it looks brilliant. It looks really, really
It does.
good. Yeah, and okay, just totally bizarre. When you load the game up, and it's sitting there before you hit start or whatever, there's a lady's face looking at you, and every time you start the game again, she'll still be sitting there or just looking at you. And if you hover over options, she'll say, "This is the options menu," or this whatever. But as the game goes on, she starts talking to you, and it really breaks the fourth wall, and it's bloody good. And just if you leave it on the screen and don't do anything, you'll see her as though she starts to move as though she wants to talk to you. The facial animation is excellent. It's just like zoomed in on her face, and you can see her pursing her mouth, her lips, as though she's thinking about going to say something and not quite doing it. And the whole way through the game, just watching this and saying, "This is brilliant." There's a lot of detail being put into it. I have liked this game quite a lot, and I did not expect that I would like it. So it's a thumbs up from me.
That's one I've looked at, never got to. It's kind of.
Yeah. There's another game as well before that one that came out just before that, maybe about 2 years before. I can't remember what they call it, but it's virtually the same. The graphics look ace and all the rest of it. People slated the story a little bit at the time, but it's the girl, the woman that's in it, the main person, is the person that she trans into a guy. Ellie something. She were in quite a few films at one point, and she's
yes.
Oh, Elliot Page, yeah. Elliot Page. Yeah.
And she's like the main actress in the game at the time. But it's another one. If you haven't played that one, I've played probably about 2 or 3 hours of that one, and that's another like ace-looking game.
God, yeah, I will look that up.
I'll type it in.
Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. Yeah, that's it.
Beyond
Two Souls.
Yeah. Somebody messaged me with that later on. I've got to remember that. That's Beyond Two Souls. Yeah. So that's Detroit Become Human. The only other game I've played is our squeaky wheel game, Sackboy. As you mentioned before, it's like a Little Big Planet game or something. When you pick it up and start playing it, it puts a huge smile on your face. It is excellent. The graphics gorgeous. I don't know. There's like a childish glee in playing it. It's really, really good. I enjoyed it. Now, we're going to get to the bad part. I don't know why, but I think I'm screwed up. I got to a level. It's not that far into it. It's something like off the grid or something to the grid. Oh, no, off the rails, maybe. Something to the rails. And you have 5 lives each go in the game. You got 1 and there's a 4. The life you're playing with is a 4 up the front, up in the top corner. It took me on my 3rd attempt, so I went through 12 different lives this game, playing it 3 times to get through that one level, and I just could not orientate and move the character the way I wanted, and it's purely me. It's not the game. And I was becoming so much frustrated with it. I ended up just dropping the game. I couldn't do it. So I will get back to it. It's a game I'm going to play and finish because I really like this. The world is beautifully realised. The voices are excellent. You've got so many famous British actors in it. I don't know. I really like it. I would like to finish the game ultimately. It's a bit like. Do you remember a game that was out a long time ago? You're a red rectangle, maybe a blue rectangle. Thomas Was Alone.
Oh yes,
yes, I know of it. Yeah,
it's a bit like that. Thomas Was Alone has 100 levels or so, and this game, Sackboy, has 70 levels. And I think when I saw there were 70 levels, I almost broke my controller playing one level, and I've probably got another 60 after I started to fear without I got through it. Thomas Alone took me over a year to finish and play through and finish. I kept hitting sections that was becoming really difficult for me to do because characters are going upside down or whatever, or inverse movements and stuff. It was really awkward, but it took me. I enjoyed the game, so I got through it. I will do the same with Sackboy. I like it a lot. It was frustrating me too much at one stage, so I put it down. But I will play it and finish it.
Yeah. some of the levels are pretty unforgiving at points, and it does require literally. I mean, some of them are probably completed by fluke when you literally have to jump something to another platform. Have you done any of the Knitted Night trials yet? If you haven't, probably don't go and do those. They're literally they are time trial things, and you have like it's a gold, silver, bronze sort of thing, and you have to jump across platforms. So like the things you come across in the game, like you have a level that's got certain enemies in it, or throw you into a maze full of those, and you've got to learn how to compete with all of those in different situations to finish the trial effectively. So there'll be one going up and down, or one on a lift, or one with platform shifting left and right, and you've got to get past them. They're really, really well done. I think I golded probably about half, but the other ones, which is like you get the orbs you get up to 3 orbs for each of them.
Yeah.
Which obviously then equate to you getting the end of the levels or the section of levels unlocked. The only sort of like hint / clue I'll give you is I got to the end of it, to the end game, to get to fight whatever his name is at the very end of it, and I didn't have enough orbs to get to him.
Oh, good, yeah.
And I was like, cack. Which is like really frustrating because like I played for this whole thing, but it's like you haven't done enough. Second that happens, obviously you have taken on that game, and it's got progressively harder. The enemies got progressively more annoying. Literally, you can hold on to the circle button and you can travel wherever you want inside any of the maps you've already played. Just go back to the first set of levels and destroy them all, because then they're really easy. Because you've already done you've done the whole skill climb by that point.
Yeah.
So I got to that point. I went back and then just 3 or 5 stars or 3 orbs, 5 orbs, the entire first batch of levels, and that put me over. But it was kind of like going back to the first easier part of the game to achieve it, at the time you wouldn't have thought of.
Well, that's good. Yeah, the game is delightful, to be honest. It is really nice. I have no nostalgia for Mario or any of those games. I guess this is probably the closest I've experienced to that type of game, and people's love to those games. But this game is pretty. It's funny, and I really do like it. I found with that level off the rails, because you're on basically like a train, along, and you got to jump off and do, but jumping off as much as possible and going along the sides where it wasn't moving, I was able to clear the levels easier. But that's how I ended up doing it in the end. So, but yeah, I liked the game. I went back and I will finish it. It'll take time.
It's interesting you saying about. Yeah, I think it will. It's interesting you saying about the Mario thing. You don't have that kind of context for 3D platformers or whatever it is. Obviously, it's based off of the Little Big Planet world from PlayStation 3 onwards. I have absolutely no time or love for those games whatsoever. I never really got on with them. I found them slightly monotonous, and I never really got through them. I think I tried the first one, and I ended up with 3 because someone got it for me for a gift, I think. And I tried playing them, I just could not get on with them. So I think this is probably the reason I've avoided that one for so long.
Yeah.
So if anyone else has played Little Big Planet and not enjoyed it, do not take that as a gospel of it being the same game. It is literally, I think what they've done is transform the franchise on purpose to refresh it. So it's gone from being something that was good, don't get me wrong, and the creativity side of it was nice, but it never felt you were really achieving anything to like a real now like proper full scale platformer. And it is an absolute cracker. I really do like it.
Well, one of the things that really annoyed me, I finished Returnal, and in that you're jumping, timing everything. I think I was able to do that, but this game I could not get the timing right. It was frustrating the hell out of me. But yeah, it will be a game. I will finish that game and see it to the end. So yeah,
it definitely needs patience, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
One thing that's worth mentioning about that game is the music. The music is outstanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's lots of popular tunes that they turn into to fit like the game as like one underworld, underwater scene that you go to, and they're playing Madonna's Material Girl, but it's kind of like done in an aquatic fashion. And what I noticed as well when I was redoing levels or dying in a level, sometimes you jump in like a cannon that's kind of like going to shoot you over to a next section. Well, if you do that game enough times and certain levels, it hits it on the beat. So like you might spend longer in that cannon until the music catches up to a certain bit, and then it fires you out. So it kind of like the cannon goes off at the beat moment sort of thing. So it's like it's so well orchestrated. Is the game? It is fantastic. And if you like that, Astrobot is another level up. You know, the Astrobot game that came out, not the freebie one. So I did have that game, and I sold it because I'd lost interest in it. But now, since I've played Sackboy, that's sort of like made me say, "Oh, I've got to get Astrobot again now." So,
oh yeah, God, I can't wait. That is probably the only game which, if anything's open on New Year's Day, I am going to buy it.
Another level,
simple as that.
Another level again.
It looks, my daughter's already said, it's like, are you going to get that? Because I really want to play it. And you're like, oh, kind of more of an excuse now. Great, thanks very much. But she watched me play through Playroom and Platinum that, and that was literally just a demo thing. And then I have to admit, playing this again now, actually another thing that's kind of corresponding to that, on Sackboy now, if you go on the PlayStation Store, every single skin that came out for that game is now free. And with it being a PlayStation Studios game, all the character things on there are all PlayStation game characters. So there's Ratchet and Clank, God of War, Astrobot's on there, which I literally played 3/4 of the game as Astrobot, which felt a little wrong. Like I was basically just like imposing him on the game because I like it so much. But yeah, there's some really cool characters in there. I mean, I did the end of the game. I almost felt like I had to go back to being standard Sackboy for the end of the game to finish it as him rather than Astrobot. But yeah, it's so cool. The song I was trying to think of as well is it Bruno Mars? Don't Believe Me, Just Whatever It Is. But as you said about the music, it starts the game with just a bit of it, and you recognize the backing thing or the vocals, and it slowly builds the more the level you go along.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And then you finish on the full song. I mean, I've got quite a loud soundbar and stuff on there. My wife was like, "Can you turn it down?" I'm like, "No, this is amazing." Just cranked it up in the lounge on full blast. But it's so good. I mean, this year we're waxing lyrical about the game again now, but it's so good. It's so good.
It is. There's so many excellent elements to it. The graphics, the colour. And one thing I will say is with a lot of these sorts of games, I often hit a wall when it comes to like the end-level baddies. It's the same with Souls games. I love all the adventuring, but the end-level baddies are usually like, I'm hitting a brick wall all of a sudden. But I will say the end-level baddies, they were all kind of like, I managed to do them in like 2 or 3 attempts. They were all kind of doable. There was not impossible. I mean, I'm going to probably find an impossible one, but I've done quite a few of them. And yeah, a joy to play, a real joy.
Excellent.
Yeah, they're challenging, but they're not kind of blocking, I think is, same. There's not a wall there sort of thing. You play it a couple of times and you work out the mechanics of how you're going to beat them. It doesn't keep it secret. It makes it difficult, but it makes it knows that there is a way of passing it, I suppose, is probably the way of doing it. Yeah. So it never stops being fun.
I'd say it's a crime against gameplay if you don't play it. You know, it's one of them games. It's an essential almost.
I will finish it. I will play. But yeah. So, Paul, that's me finished for games. So, Paul, what have you been playing?
Okay. I started the new month after the show. Fancying a bit of a tidy up of my hard drive on my PlayStation, because you can go back to your PlayStation, it's in standby mode, and you turn it on and it's like, oh, we couldn't do this update because you haven't got enough space. You know, like these updates can be 40 gigabytes and such like. So for, you know what? There's tons of games that I've downloaded that I might take a look at. So if I'll have a bit of a tidy up. And anyway, one of the games that was on there, it's so much crazy, like about 120 gigabytes, is Ark, which is the game from PC where it's like a survival game. It's like got the dinosaurs in it. You know, you start off like, you know, the usual, you might just have a loincloth on, even that, you might not even have a loincloth on, but you basically have like nothing. And you got to go around and sort of, you know, build up your world and survive, etc. But I played it for about 10 minutes. I've kind of played it before. I just wasn't digging it and it wasn't intriguing me. And I just thought, you know what, boom. So anyway, it went 120 gigabytes, you know, freed up. So I thought,
was it that big?
Yeah, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And so the next game on the list, and I put this one on, which I downloaded, and I'd actually read previously, like about a week or so before, that they're going to stop development on this game, and that's it. It's kind of like game over, and within 1 year's time, it's going to turn off the servers, etc. And that is New World Aeternum. Or Aeternum, or I think it's Aeternum. I can't.
The Amazon game.
So anyway, but what I will say, wow, what a game! That is an absolutely fantastic game. Obviously, I'm coming late to this game. It's probably been out about 3 years or so, But you can just tell they've listened, the developers, to everybody's woes or ideas to how to improve the game. The game just feels like a game for gamers. It really has been so well polished. And I really enjoyed it. I started off thinking I'll play it for half an hour. This is another easy 100 gigs to wipe off my hard drive. No problem here. But I didn't. I ended up playing it for about 8 hours. I didn't play 8 hours solid. I played about 4 hours, and the next night I played another 4 hours. And I can also say, if you get a chance, give it a go. And well worth it. It's on PlayStation Plus. No, I don't think we're on Plus. It's on the Premium or whichever the one is in the middle. It's on that tier, so you can download it. Yeah, highly recommend it. And one other thing about them sorts of games, like such games as like World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls Online, often exploration can be quite difficult because often you are surrounded by a lot of mountainous areas or areas that are difficult to get over, etc. If you could look over the top of that mountain or whatever, you could probably into like a whole different area. Well, they've really got the exploration right on this because he's got a bit of a jump on him as the character. So you can actually jump up some of these mountains quite easily and get to the top of the mountains and work your way around into other areas. So it's not frustrating in that respect. The exploration on it is really good. I highly recommend it. Well worth giving it a session. Obviously, I played Sackboy as well, which I really enjoyed, which we just spoke about, which led me on to another game which has been sat in my drawer for a long time. And it's kind of one of them games that probably your average Switch owner will have at least owned or has in their collection, which is Mario Odyssey. And it's one of them games where I've put it on and kind of like, it's a bit too cutesy, etc. But because Sackboy had led me down this I'm loving cutesy games all of a sudden scenario, well then Mario Odyssey started to appeal. I'm like, oh wow, hold on a minute. You've got one of the best Switch games there that you haven't really played. Give it a go. So I put it on and wow, yeah, once you get into it, the exploration and the things that the character can do, etc. It's more than just a Mario game. That's a real adventure game, is that? So I've been enjoying that. I'm probably about, my usual fall off point. I'm probably about 8 or 9 hours into that. But it is one I'm definitely going to go back to because the Switch is mainly on the upstairs TV where the PlayStation's on the downstairs TV. So that's a great game because sometimes I'm often sat upstairs because I'd like to have it. My missus has absolutely zero interest in gaming. She does like the original Mario game. I'm talking NES style, and she does like, say, like Pac-Man. She will always have a go at those, but beyond that, very little interest. So my upstairs console, but I'm often thinking, oh, should I go downstairs and bring the PlayStation 5 up? So I've been playing, but I don't want to be unhooking it, messing about with the HDMI port on the back, etc. Because it's not that difficult to break them HDMI ports, So yeah. I ain't doing it. So it sits downstairs. But yeah, so Mario Odyssey, really enjoyed that. I also played another game which was on this month's freebie games on the PlayStation, and it's called Thank Goodness You're Here, and it's all set in like a Yorkshire town. Wow, yeah, it is such a funny game. I'd heard about this game and it would have totally passed me by. I heard it on it's not Gamers Confessional. The other guys with Jink. I can't remember the name of the show for some reason.
Veteran Gamers, yeah. So Veteran Gamers show, they played it on there. And they give it a really good review. And I will say, yeah, it's absolutely funny. And it's the sort of game you can run through in around about 3 or 4 hours maximum. Top ace little game. It just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I also played...
Is it on premium, is it? Sorry, yeah. It is on premium, all the free games on the higher tiers this week.
I think it were on Essential. So it's like the bottom. Yeah, I think it were on the bottom. I could be wrong. Because they keep doing it, don't they? Like, you get 2 lots of releases every month. So I get lost amongst what came out for which tier sort of thing.
Me too.
So, but yeah, it's definitely on. It might not be Essential, but it's definitely on the middle tier at the very least.
It's on Extra. Yeah, I've just looked. It's only 15 quid anyway. But the same thing. I know about 8-10 people who have played it, and they just said it's hysterical and it's brilliant, and you should play it. And it's like, okay, fair enough. I keep waiting for it to. It's on my wish list on PlayStation sort of thing for next year. But yeah, it looks hilarious. I watched trailers of it and it just looks ridiculous but funny at the same time.
It is. It's really good. And thankfully, a game that's come to I can't remember once again. I can't remember if it's extra or essential. That's just come, and that's Red Dead Redemption, the PS5 version. You know, the original Red Dead Redemption. And what I will say, man, that game looks pin sharp on a big screen. It looks good at 4K. And yeah, I've got it on Xbox, but I'm toying with the idea of selling my Xbox, which I haven't sold because I've been too busy to sell it. I feel as if I might have missed the boat. Because obviously, if you sell it after Christmas, the prices drop. Yeah, you know, people are buying an Xbox probably for Christmas or for a gift at the second user one or whatever. So yeah, but I'll come on to Xbox afterwards as well. So I put it on there because I've got it on Xbox One, which I'm going to sell because there's no point keeping that. You probably get about 15 quid for it on Xbox One. So the disc version. So, but yeah, it's really good. Looks good. I've played pretty much up to the point where I got to on the Xbox version, which is about 2 or 3 hours in, where you've kind of like bedded in. You've kind of got your horse. You've been out on a few missions. You know, it's kind of opening up is the world. So, and what else did I play? I played the demo, and it's a full 4-hour demo, and that is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I didn't really enjoy Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 too much. I did play it, but I found it too much of a real world simulator where you had to be doing too many things to enjoy it. It became a bit of a chore, but I enjoyed it and liked it for what it was. But everyone said that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, they've kind of changed it up a little bit, made it a little bit more fun, a little less in depth as to how you must do this and how you must do that. And I will say, yeah, definitely really enjoyed it. It kind of gave me that. I've been kind of aching a little bit for playing or fancying, although I can't play it, but the game that I would kind of like to play is the Oblivion remaster. So, and this is kind of like, I normally like them kinds of games, those medieval games. I like to have a little bit of magic in them. Otherwise, they can feel a bit bland. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, there's no magic, there's no wizards, there's none of that kind of stuff in there. It's a medieval simulator. But yeah, really enjoyed it. So I've hinted for my New Year gift, because I'm not having any Christmas game gifts, unfortunately. But for my New Year game list, I've mentioned that one. So yeah, I think that'll be forthcoming. So yeah, definitely a good game. And I tell you what I spotted as well is on Xbox, as you know, it's gone wonky as the price. It's like £14 a month. Obviously, you can go to Loaded and go buy a 6-month key and set it up via Brazil or whatever else. So you can get it for maybe £7 a month. But one of the biggest, bestest tricks that you could do for a long, long time, and they probably stopped it about a year ago, is that when you set up a new account on Xbox, yeah, you could get premium or whatever they call it on what do they call the top tier on Xbox? It's
Ultimate Game Pass, Ultimate.
Right, Ultimate Game Pass, yeah. Guess what? You can get it for £1. So, and the big trick is, I'm sure everyone knows this, but if you don't know it, if an account on your Xbox has premium, all the other accounts that can be used, that are used on that system, all get to use premium as well. So you don't have to start your games again. You don't have to restart anything. Just put a brand new account on, pay you £1, turn off the auto subscription so you're not charged $14.99 a month afterwards. You just need an email address. Any old email address will do. Set up, pay for it via PayPal. PayPal address doesn't have to match that, or you can pay for it via your Switch card or whatever. It doesn't have to match anything. Pay for that £1. And then you can play all the premium games on your regular account and keep all your saves. 1 month later, if you want to play Xbox Ultimate again, set up another email address. Google, takes 2 minutes. Pay for it again for 1 month. Boom, job done. £1. And that's what, in the new year, that's going to give me, say, the option of playing Oblivion, which is on there, the remastered version. So it's kind of reignited my urge to keep the Xbox, because there's the other one, I'm going to call it endowed, but I think that's the wrong kind of word.
Endowed.
Yeah, that means something totally different to me.
Maybe well endowed, I don't know. But I mean...
Well endowed. Well, that Wizard's well built or whatever. I don't know. He's got a big wand. So So, but yeah, he's magic in the bedroom. So, but anyway, so
There's a title for us.
yeah, turning on the magic in the bedroom. He's a real wizard in the bedroom or whatever. So, but yeah, so so that's reignited my urge to keep the Xbox, because if I can play it for the next 12 months for £12 and have Ultimate or Ultimate Game Pass, whatever they call it, then yeah, sure, I'm game on for that. One other thing I noticed as well, for anyone that might be on a bit of a budget, I always check Prime, Amazon Prime Gaming, because that's another way to get your freebie games. On there, they give away maybe 5 or 10 games a month. Some are good, some are bad, but you just keep adding them. And if you ever play them, you play them. If you don't, you don't. But Luna, which is their free streaming service, if you've got Amazon Prime, you should see the games on there. I was shocked. There's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Good.
Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is a game from this year. You've got Hogwarts Legacy. You've got Indiana Jones, last year's big game. You've got all the Fallout games. You've got Skyrim. You've got Tomb Raider. If you probably have an Amazon Prime stick, which is about 30 quid, and it'll connect up to any controller. So you kind of get like an old Xbox, even an old PlayStation 4 controller, whatever you've got lying around. You don't even have to be on a budget, just a range of games that's on there. Hook it up and have a go. You know, what can you say? It doesn't cost anything to play. I think you can pay an extra premium if you want. I could be wrong on that, but it's definitely part of Amazon Prime. What more do you want?
Yeah, it's definitely part of it. Yeah, the Luna stuff is, and was a Windows desktop app for it as well, so you can do it off that if you want to play it.
Well, that's amazing.
PC.
Yeah, you could probably hook up your laptop to your TV, right? Even the most basic Intel HD graphics, yeah, you can probably hook that up. As long as it's capable of probably doing the codecs, I imagine, for the streaming. So if it's probably 7th or 8th gen or newer, maybe even a 6th gen Intel, which is pretty old now, you probably find you could stream it. You could probably even do it on your tablet as well. So yeah, that's an amazing way to tap into some cheap games if you've got Amazon Prime. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really been playing much else, but that's still quite a few games. But yeah, but yeah, it's been some good stuff.
Just looked up Fire TV. I just realised that that television we bought has got Fire TV. I don't use the menu system on it because we run everything off the Xbox for television, but it's got Fire TV on it. So I might see if Luna works. Yeah,
give it a blast. Maybe have a go on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or something like that. I mean, talking of Hogwarts Legacy, this is probably too late for this, but Epic Games have started off this month with Hogwarts Legacy as a freebie game. That's pretty cool. And what they normally do as well, as we get closer to Christmas, they do the thing called the 12 Days of Christmas. So every day, Epic gives a game away. That's what they've done in the past couple of years. So they normally give some good quality games. You can't knock the games that they give away.
Listening? Hopefully I'll get this out before the 18th, but it is free until 4 o'clock on the 18th.
Yeah.
The first is Hogwarts.
I mean, even if you've already got it, if you've got a PC, it's a good test game as well, because that'll stretch even some of the more bigger graphics cards. It will, take it to task. So even it's a good game for like benchmarking or seeing how nice it looks. So yeah, fantastic.
I'll tell you what, well worth can actually just shedding light on. Epic Games, their holiday sale is unbelievable. Every single year when Epic Games do a sale on their store, the prices are completely stupid. Like, unbelievable underneath everything else. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what Steam and EA do in response to it. But I mean, if you like football, FC 26 is £23. Ark Raiders is 24, which is nuts money. Battlefield 6, 41 instead of 60. I mean, that's mad deals. What I'm interested in, F1 25, 50, half price, £25. It's all these deals on there. They're so good with their pricing when it comes to their sales. It's like once a year. I haven't actually seen if they normally stick a £10 voucher in there as well. You can use once.
Yeah,
what
they
normally
do.
happens.
Yeah.
That's how I bought Division 2. I got the gold edition of Division 2, was down to 20 quid from 120, and then I used my £10 voucher on it as well. Whenever that was, a couple of years ago. So it's unbelievable. Really, really cool little store. It's underrated, and I have no clue at all how they make money. Apparently, it's a loss leader.
Well, I think it's because they own the engine. And plus Fortnite's theirs as well. They're dripping in money, basically. They are totally and utterly dripping in money. And they own the engines. I think Unreal Engine 5 is their development tools.
Yep. Yeah.
So they are dripping in money. Simple as that. So they're like probably more than Grand Theft Auto guys. They've probably got like 10 times their money. So another gaming thing that happened this week was the Game of the Year thing that came out?
Game Awards. Yeah.
Game Awards, yeah. Yeah. Expedition 33. I think that got Game of the Year.
It did, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Unsurprising.
Yeah, that did.
Yeah.
It was an exceptional game.
Yeah, there were a lot of love for that on all the podcasts that I listened to. Everyone seemed to, obviously some people, the problem can be with them sorts of games is that there's so much everybody loves it talk. It's like when there's a new song comes out and it's number one for say 10 weeks or something, even if you haven't played it or listened, you just get so fed up of it just because you're fed up of hearing about it, then you never get into it, or it's so overhyped. When you do give it a go, it's like, what's so special about this? So yeah, I think I will give it a go.
You, Taylor Swift's new album. I don't care, but I cannot stop listening to it now because everyone else in the universe does. It's on everything all the time.
Is that other thing that happens at this time of year? Is it Whamageddon as well? Where if you hear that particular song or whatever, I won't even mention its name in case it causes issues. But yeah.
Don't, please.
So
I'm still in. This is my longest run so far. 14th of December. I've survived a Christmas party as well. I'm doing pretty well. Nice. I'm just going to stay indoors for the rest of the month until Christmas.
Yeah. Currently still surviving as well.
Fantastic.
There's the Mariah Carey one as well, which is the Mariah Apocalypse, they call it. And then they have the Bublé one, which is this is a stretch.
Beginning to look like Christmas or what?
Yeah, but it's like Bublé and Oblivion mixed together. Oblivion or something.
Oblivion.
Yeah,
I didn't know about them. I'm stuffed on both those accounts. So.
Right. Mariah Carey is definitely.
Is that you done with your? Is that done with your gaming for this month, Paul?
Yeah, pretty much. What have you been watching? Have you been watching much or?
I'll go first. This has been quite a sad month. It'll take me seconds, but it'll give everyone a laugh. So that's probably the most important thing. My wife absolutely loves I'm a Celeb, so we've sat through all of that and watched it, and there's another year of it being finished. I don't know why I watch it. I hate spiders. It's car crash TV at its best, isn't it, really? But she loves it, so we watch it. So that's been on TV most of the time. Outside of that, I literally haven't really watched anything. Actually, I'll tell there's one series we've started, Man on the Inside with Ted Danson in it. Yeah, we've came to the entire first season in a week.
Oh wow!
All 8 episodes of it, and we're now on episode 2 of season 2, and it's brilliant. Again, I have no idea how I ever watched it, and Ted Danson is still an absolute legend. So we're watching that really, really cool series, really, really good. You both watched it, I take it.
I've watched the first season.
Yeah, literally that. Oh yeah, we got to.
I've started.
You started,
I haven't finished yet. So I need to get back. Yeah,
it's worth it. I mean, I can't say much for season 2. It started well, but the whole first season is so good, and it plays out brilliantly. Really, really does. The character development and stuff on it is really cool, and just like the dry humor and stupidity mixed in with it all is brilliant. So that's kind of I'm a Celeb. That outside of that, there's a food channel on YouTube called Sorted Food, which is kind of there's 3 chefs and 3 guys who aren't chefs who are normals, they call themselves, and they just do like cooking challenges and reviews and stuff like that. And we've got obsessed with watching that. It's like we started watching it for a recipe about 3 months ago, and realized they've been there for like 3-4 years. These guys, some of them actually just like used to be marketing heads in places, and they've stopped their jobs and they do this instead. So they're really into it. And they also do, as well as the live stuff, like 2-3 times a year, they do a live show of kind of, it's all done on the fly. So if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It's not pre-recorded for YouTube. And the last one they did was a murder mystery event over 2 days. They rented out this huge manor house, got actors in and everything, and did cooking around this murder mystery going on. And we paid for that. It was like £20 or something to watch it and have the stream. And we're about three quarters of the way through that. And that's been really good fun, actually, for what is a cooking channel. They've done a pretty exceptional job between them. So that's the other thing. And the other thing as well is just wasting time. God, does anyone else remember a guy called Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer? Or you're going to look at me and go, have you been taking stuff? he's the dog whisperer. He's a guy who can train any dog. My children love animals. We both love animals. We've been watching him, the dog whisperer. All the episodes appear to be on YouTube. So literally, we've just been burning through hours while watching it, even having dinner and stuff at the same time. Car crash TV again at its best. And apart from that, there's a YouTube car channel I keep watching everything on called Top Dead Center, which is guys from a previous channel set up a new one themselves. They're completely normal people who try and do stuff on cars, which is why it's funny. So they have a bit of talent, but not that much. And they do pretty hilarious projects and stuff on it. So I've just been watching those in my spare time around other things. A lot of time I'll be sat, like, I don't know, doing present wrapping or something, or it's on, or whatever it is, or shit, I can't sleep because my shoulder's knackered and my wife's asleep, that sort of thing. So I'm literally done absolutely nothing really constructive with watching TV this month at all. Despite having a new TV, I've just watched Tat on it that isn't in 4K. So that seems like a real worthwhile thing to do. But the only thing I can say is the inside Man on the Inside, well worth watching. But that's going to be my highlight since last month, I think. So quick and easy. I'll let you talk about stuff which is actually decent television. So Brian, do you want to start us off? Yours is normally quite good and a mix of crazy manga and other things.
Let me see. I watched the latest season of Invasion. I think it's on Apple. Aliens have invaded the world, and I think I may have mentioned it before, but the latest season is just more of it. It's okay. The first season was really good, and that's why I've watched the latest season. I think on season 3 or 4, and it seems to be dragging. There's no motivation or go back and watch anymore. So I'm not sure if I will do or not. No. I've finished the last season of The Witcher. It's the latest one without Henry Cavill.
Oh, is that?
It's more the same, but
what his name is instead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's him or it's the story. It's more the same, but just less so. There's some Ciri is good, it's quite good in it, the character, but there's not much else going on in the show. I found that it basically feels like a filler series or filler season while they're trying to get onto something else, because it starts off with The Witcher traveling to go and find Ciri, and it's 6 episodes long. He's still traveling, and there's no further progress. And it's just like, what the fuck? Why have I watched 6 hours of this and nothing's happened? But yeah, it didn't feel like an awful lot.
It's like a loading screen thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you
watched season 4 and a half. There was one good thing in the, I think it was an earlier season. They say, should we go this way? And he says, no, we'll get distracted by side quests, which I thought was a really good thing. I'll throw back to the games. Yeah, I thought it was quite good. But anyway, yeah, that latest season I didn't rate it all that well. So I'm not blaming the change in actors, but the story just didn't seem to go very well.
That's a shame.
I think, let me see, I watched season 4 and I'm halfway through season 5 of Only Murders in the Building. It's a show that when I'm not watching it, I really don't want to go back watching it. I get annoyed, but when I sit down and watch it, I'll just watch episode after episode after episode. I don't like Martin Short as an actor. He just seems to play the same role every time, and I find him annoying. But the show is quite well done. It's interesting, it's funny, and they have quite good twists in the story. So if you haven't started watching any of them, it's definitely a good one to watch. The first season was very good, and in the 4th season and in some of the 5th season, they've mentioned problems with the first season, mistakes they made. So there's like another mystery building up in the background. So it's quite good.
Is it
I've been watching Dan Steve Martin. It is really good. He takes the piss out of himself as an actor. Like he's supposedly an actor in the show, and he takes the piss out of being an actor as well. So it's quite good. I've been watching Dance Cemetery Road. I've watched it all except for the last episode. Emma Thompson is in it, and Ruth Wilson, if you know her, she was in Luther, a TV show. They're both really good actresses. And they've got a middling script. The show is okay. There's like a mystery at the start, and after that you question why, especially Ruth Wilson's character is actually doing what she's doing. They try to justify it, but it doesn't seem to work. And don't know. It's an okay show. I wouldn't rush out to watch it. The only other thing I've watched is a movie, an anime movie. Have you ever heard of Grave of the Fireflies?
Nope.
No. It's a Ghibli movie. Let me see, it's Hotaru no Haka is the actual name. It was directed by Isao Takahata. It's one of the 5 Ghibli movies he made. It's fucking awesome. It's stunning. Okay, it set in the final months of World War II. There's a 14-year-old boy called Seita and his younger sister, who's maybe 5. She's Setsuko. They're orphaned when their mother's killed, and they're fought during the air raid in Kobe in Japan. So it's at the very end when America's attacking Japan. It's based somewhat on a true story, some of it based on a true story, and the rest of it just becomes fantastical. But they go to live with their aunts, they fall out with their aunt, they move into an abandoned bomb shelter, and then they struggle to survive as their emergency rations run out. I had some idea what the story is about. I was not prepared for it. I was floods of tears watching this. It is horrible. I mean, it broke me. I was thinking about this movie for days afterwards. So I do recommend watching it. They aimed it at kids, so I don't know. It's quite cruel. But they like when the mother dies, they show the body. She's all wrapped in bandages because she got caught in fire, and there's flies and maggots crawling all over and stuff. So it's quite graphic, but it is a really good story. It's heartbreaking, and I was very shortly into it. I was in bits, and then by the end, I was ruined. So yeah, go watch it. Grave of the Fireflies. It was released in 1988, and it's based on some stories. So they got funding for this, and they used the funding also to produce Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro, which is their probably more famous one. But they were both released in the same year, and they were released in the cinema as a double bill. And My Neighbor Totoro is a really nice, happy movie, pretty happy movie. And then this movie is abysmal. It's pits of hell, but it's a really good movie. Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, you're going to need boxes of tissues with you just for tears, not for any other reason.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, I know the audience. So yeah, you need to. But yeah, go watch it if you get a chance. Do watch it. It is excellent. That's Grave of the Fireflies. Okay, and that's all I've watched this month. So, Paul?
Fantastic. Talking of, it's not quite anime, but oddly enough, I stumbled across a new YouTube channel last night, probably about 11 o'clock-ish, and it was actually all about restoration of movie posters. And that's what this person does. And they'll restore other kinds of posters, advertising posters as well. And it's called fourth cone restoration, as in like ice cream cone, like fourth cone. And basically, one of the things that they were restoring was a very rare Japanese 1950s Godzilla poster. And the guy that wanted it restoring, he paid something like, he actually buys and sells posters. So, and obviously like this poster's from like 1954, and it was not in terrible state, but it had obviously yellowed, because obviously they're not designed to last really, these posters. It's meant to be a put up, rip down, next film, next week sort of thing. And this particular poster, they had to pay particular attention to how they cleaned it, because when they clean it, they generally put water on it, etc. But in Japan, what they appear to have done with these posters is that the bottom section of the poster is left blank, because the guy comes along and this same poster will go out across the country, but the actual poster, the guy will actually write on the bottom, the time and the date on the showing times, but he'll do it in like the big sort of like those big brush pens sorts of things. Yeah. And one thing that was important to the guy, he says, I want the ink to remain intact because that's an important part of its history. So they had to pay very special attention to keeping the ink in place. Now, it sounds really kind of boring, but it isn't, because I like those kinds of things. Like I might watch some shows about, say, 1970s electronics and how they get it working again, or we'll talk about things that were from, like, say, the 1970s that were extremely, massively expensive. I watched one about a Sony TV that was 32-inch back in the 70s. And it would have been like the equivalent of, say, like an 100-inch TV by today's standards. If you owned that TV in the 70s, it had like remote doors in it that opened up. You would have to have been top, like millionaire type guy to own this TV. And of course, these things have ended up in people's basements. And this guy's rescued it and restored it. I love all those sorts of things. But one of the other couple of posters that she restores in other episodes, the episodes are really quite good. They're only about 8 or 10 minutes long. So, and she restores a poster that a guy got in 1976 before all the Star Wars films came out. And it was like you'd probably have seen issue 1 of the original Star Wars magazine, the comic version, which is like a Marvel sort of like graphics on the front, and he's kind of like Luke Skywalker, etc. But it's drawn in the cartoony style, and the poster is basically based around that. But they couldn't give these posters away back in 1976 because no one had heard of Star Wars. And of course, nobody was interested in Star Wars. And who's Luke Skywalker? It makes no sense. And he managed to keep one, and he got it signed at this Comic-Con, like back in 1976 when they were giving these posters away, because the artists were there at the time who obviously did other illustrations, but this was like his new one. And they restored that, and some of the other ones that she restores as well, it could be like broken into lots of different bits, but they don't just clean it. They'll get another artist that will come along. You know, if a poster's often being folded, well, they'll get an artist that comes along and they'll fill in all the gaps and all the little bits as well, so it no longer looks like it's been folded in the past. Each well worth watching for the 7 or 10 minutes, like your average episode is. It's amazing. So now I watched various films as well. I also watched a TV show called Pluribus, which you might have all heard about. It's by the guys that did Breaking Bad, and it starts off super intriguing. It's got the perfect intriguing beginning. It had me hooked. I've only watched 2 episodes. But the first 2 episodes, it's all about this virus. This guy working, you know, it's like this is all first 5-minute stuff. He's working in, say, like this particular building, and like they got like the rats in there, they're testing drugs, etc. And one of them bites him, and then of course he's like becomes infected with this thing, blah blah blah, and it all goes on from there. It's super intriguing at the first 2 episodes. It's well worth watching the first 2 episodes. As you get into episode 3, then the mystery is starting to become a little bit more obvious as to what's happening. So yeah, that's well worth watching. I watched some great films as well. I watched the new Running Man, which is obviously based on the old original Running Man Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Yeah. And what I will say is that it really does take on the 80s genre very well and modernizes it and gives it that same kind of, like if you're watching 80s film these days, like Arnold saying some of his punchlines are a bit cheesy and a bit corny by today's standards because we've heard them all before. Well, they've managed to adapt that quite nicely and modernize the cheese, so we've got like a modern cheesy version. But yeah, that's really good. And one film I fancied watching and then kind of didn't want to watch, and then I often use as my benchmark whether I should give it a try or not give it a try, is Empire magazine, because they're generally quite a trusted, a bit not quite arty magazine, but they are interested in more than just action films, and you can get it online. It's totally free, and if they generally give a film 4 out of 5 stars, it's a very good sign. If they give something 3 out of 5 stars, that means it's probably a good film as well. But a 4 or a 5 usually means it's very, very, very good, and it's well worth watching. And this film, I couldn't believe it. I put on, and it starts off fantastic. It almost has like a Star Wars feel to it with the battle scenes that starts off at the beginning, and that's Predator Badlands. Now, a lot of Predator films, I watched the original first one that came out. It was a classic with Arnold in the jungle being hunted by the Predator. And obviously the second one with Danny Glover, where it's set, I think, it's set in America. It might be New York, it might not be New York, but it's that kind of environment. Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon, the one of the, the cops on that. And so there've been Predator 3, Predator 4, Predator 5, and they rebooted it a little while ago and released a film called Prey, which has actually got a predator in it. It's set on like an Indian reserve or something like that. Could be wrong on that. I haven't watched the film, but I am going to watch it. And this one here, now you would think this film has total heart. Unbelievable, right? This Predator has heart. It's unbelievable. When you watch it, by the time you finish watching it, you want to watch the next one they're going to do. It's almost guaranteed. And you're in tune with the Predator, man. It's really, really good. So the action scenes in it are fantastic. The graphics are fantastic. The story's fantastic. Don't dismiss it because it's a Predator film. Surely it's junk, B movie. It's not. It's quality. You'll come away. It's like almost like the same level as the Marvel reboots. They've done that to it. It's up there. It's top tier.
That's good to know. It desperately needed it. The last few Predator films have literally just run out of steam from everyone. I don't watch all of that sort of thing, but as you just said, Predator 1, Predator 2, they are two of my favorite films, probably of the 80s, 90s era. They're amazing. I love them both. I love the characters in it and the storylines. I think they're great. But the other ones I've seen, I've watched like the Alien versus Predator movies and was like, oh, for God's sake, why have you done this? It's like, it's like whoever wins, we lose. What the people watching it? Yes, that's true. We do lose. There's bad films. I just didn't enjoy it at all. So it's good to know. I mean, I saw a review just quickly online of Badlands, and someone was saying it was a really top film and it was a really great refresh. So that's obviously no one I know, whereas yourself as well. That's awesome. I mean, it does look pretty cool. I've seen little snippets that seem like shorts and stuff. There's an elephant thing. You'll know exactly what I'm on about that runs towards them. I've seen the thing of that with a sword or something.
Oh yes, yeah. It's like it almost looks a bit more prehistoric.
Yeah.
It's like but I know I see what you mean.
Woolly mammoth type thing, isn't it? Is what it looks like or something.
Yeah.
I've seen that bit and thought, wow, that's pretty cool how they thought of doing that. So I do need to watch it, but it's trying to find. It's not something my wife's going to want to watch, so it'll be there's no point watching myself.
If she likes any kind of like superhero-y films, or maybe a little bit of sci-fi, she doesn't mind a bit of Star Wars-y sort of thing, or if she enjoyed the first two Predators, you will get into it. The Predator as a character, unlike all the other ones where it's just some roaming monster that's going to kill. He has no character really. In this, he has a character. He has a heart. You know what I mean? He has character. He has meaning. He has purpose. Really, really, really good.
Awesome.
Another film I watched as well. Now, this harks back to my youth, really. I remember watching naively, and unfortunately to some degree, upon reflection, back in the sort of like, it was either the very, very late 80s or the very, very, I think it was the very, very late 80s. I'm pretty certain it was the very, very late 80s, like maybe it's like 88, 89. There was a documentary on BBC Two, which I flicked along to like by accident, and it were about a kid. Yeah. And the first thing that hit you before you realise what you was watching. And now back in the 80s, this just wasn't going to happen. It was almost funny to hear these sorts of things being said on TV. And it was just full of swearing. I mean, absolute swearing, like, and the things he would come out with, I don't even want to say them on here, like they are absolutely extreme expletives. The comments that were being said to people. And this was a documentary, a real life documentary, and it was about a documentary called John's Not Mad. And basically,
it's the guy with Tourette.
It's about it's about the Tourette's. The kid had the Tourette's. But when you actually watched it back in the 80s, this was like an unbelievable TV scene. You might have heard, honestly, I don't think you heard the F word in the 80s on the television. And this kid was screaming expletives and insults that would kind of like blow you away. Like, wow, man, that was mind blowing. And I watched it and I found it highly hilarious at the time, unfortunately. So, but that's just what it was at the time. And so anyway, years and years and years and years have obviously passed. So anyway, they did a film. Wow, what a film. And they call it I Swear. And what they do, they talk about it from when they were a kid. And the film is so well done. The film is absolutely perfect. It takes you from the opening moment. I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable. The achievement and the things, the hurdles that kid has had to go through. Excuse me, got a sore throat. He has had to go through was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. A real achievement for that guy. So yeah, I highly recommend watching it, I swear.
No idea that came
So,
out.
but other than that, yeah, I swear, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. All about John and his Tourette's, and the achievements in his life are absolutely brilliant.
Oh, cool.
Sounds quite good, I have to admit. Right.
Yeah, it is good. Even if you watch the original documentary on YouTube, you will not believe some of the things that I allowed you to listen to in the 80s on the television. That stuff that kid comes out with on there would be banned even today. You would not let you put it on. So yeah, fantastic, Phil. Fantastic. What hurdles he's had to jump over.
I'm going to look that up.
Fair play to him.
I'd say it's one of those things a long old time ago that you kind of forget about. I had no idea they would do something about it, but I guess it's one of those things. It's an illness that it only ever gets seen, really, sadly, in kind of a comical fashion for what it causes and what it does. I mean, even some films do it that way. So, I mean, it's good that someone's done it. That someone's thought we should probably do something that focuses on this and give kind of like light on the subject. So that's kind of cool, I have to say. So yeah, I'm interested in looking into that.
Yeah, it's well good. It's kind of like how can you say? It's almost Oscar worthy. It's that kind of film. It should win awards. Honestly, it's fantastic. Really, really, really good.
I was going to mention we talked about the PC RAM prices earlier.
Yeah.
In the news section, do you want to talk about whether that'll affect the new consoles or the Steam box price, Steam machine?
It's a fair point.
Do you think it'll affect it?
Possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the Steam machine will be affected. PlayStation 5, anyway, the current generation, I'm not sure, because I reckon Sony have bought theirs.
The difference will be, yeah, exactly. The difference will be as well that people like Crucial and stuff are pulling out of selling to us little consumers at one at a go. But people who are buying like 500,000 DIMMs every quarter, sort of thing, or like RAM chips themselves, that's who they're focusing their business model on. So the people who are making the stuff for AI, like servers and all that kind of stuff, that's who's being focused on. So they'll still be all right. Those main lines will be the ones that don't suffer, because obviously they're buying them in monstrous quantities versus like the standard consumer products will be put to one side to support those.
Yeah.
One thing I heard on a YouTube channel which made an interesting point was that bear in mind, DDR5 or memory prices, the cost of production has not increased. It isn't like their source product. It ain't like as if the price of, like if you make chocolate bars and there's a cacao shortage or whatever for making the chocolate with you. It's not like that. This is simply down to someone coming in and buying up the market. That's all it's about. Someone's come in and bought up like the futures, like a stock market type thing. They've just bought up all the stock and they says, that's the price we're prepared to pay. If you want to come in at that price, you're going to have to wait a while. Supply, demand. So the cost of any of these things haven't gone up in value, haven't gone up in cost production value, but to get hold of it or for us to buy it. But then again, and also what they've said on some of these YouTube things, and they make an interesting point, is we've had it very cheap for quite a long time, PC computing. And it wasn't really until the mining crisis where prices went a bit wonky. You could build a pretty nice PC for £600 or £700 before all this mining crisis came along. You know, it wasn't unusual. You were only a few hundred extra quid on top of a console, really, to get yourself a decent gaming rig. But now it's entering into like silly territories.
And it's going to stay like it. The same as graphics cards never went back down. Well, they did go back down, but unfortunately the world has somehow convinced itself that a mid-range tier graphics card is absolutely fine at £900.
Yes.
What used to be £400 for a mid-tier is now £900 completely acceptable. I'm talking to you, 5080. Hi.
Yeah.
Well, them tiers have turned into real tiers at the moment. For I mean, if you were going to build a system for, I don't know, for the family, you're going to give it as a gift for the family or something, then DDR5 prices are enough to like say, well, it's unaffordable now. Yep. Unfortunately, it's gone out of our price range. We can't afford that. So yeah,
I've had the same.
I don't know. I did get the benefit from it because obviously prices have gone up, but my buying in prices have gone up as well. But there's still deals out there. There's still people living in the land of I only paid £80 for that 32 gigabyte thing, And I'm happy to take 60 quid for it. There's still people living in that land because they don't know any better, unfortunately. And that's the market.
Yeah. I mean, even the forums had the same thing. There's a whole profiteering thing. Fair play to them on the some of the forums I use on the market sections. And so people are putting RAM up, and it's like, because of the way the market is, we've had to change the way that we work. Okay, we don't support profiteering. We don't like it happening. And it's kind of like, it's a fair level playing field in here. But at the end of the day, things have gone up. New stuff goes up. So resale stuff goes up. It's simple as that. You can't have people are living in the £60 era, like you said. It's like, I only pay 60 quid for that. It's only worth 40 now. It's like, no, it's now a valuable commodity that someone else will want.
Yeah.
So it's fair enough. As long as you don't go in there and say, oh yeah, I want $2,000 for it, which is a piss take, then I feel that's absolutely fine. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's the cost of everything. It's like, you wouldn't go into, well, someone paid in the 1960s, paid 35, 40 grand for a Ferrari Daytona. They're not going to sell it you now for 35, 40 grand when it's worth 5 million, are they? So,
it's just a market. I mean, it happened exactly with the mining, with the graphics cards. 1 minute they were down here, the next minute the prices are just boom, shot up, because it was literally a license to print money.
Yeah.
If you knew what you was doing, you had enough graphics cards, you was literally printing money.
Yep.
So
that is quite, the other side of that is quite funny now, because everyone who's trying to sell off all the farms they used to have are these cards that have been run ragged for like 2 solid years, mining coins, and it doesn't matter anymore. And you get someone up on eBay selling like 50 cards of the same, and it's like, wow, that's really not obvious you've been running a farm. They haven't been running at like 100 degrees solidly for 2 years. I wonder why no one wants to buy them for that money. It's just like they will end up going for like 30 quid or best offer, because they've just had like 10 years worth of life drained out of them in the space of 2 months.
Well, in fairness, for example, Linus Tech Tips did a thing on this because I buy and sell computer graphics cards, and at some point after this mining, or during the mining boom, if someone was buying a second-hand card for you, the most common question was, has it been used for mining? Yeah. Now, if I buy a second-hand graphics card, unless I obviously know it's being used for mining, well, I don't honestly know. There's nothing on there. The BIOS doesn't tell you how many hours it's being used for. It doesn't tell you what it was used for. There's nothing on there that is not like a digital logbook of what that graphics card has been doing. And so Linus Tech Tips, he did a thing on this, and he obviously has graphics cards that's been sent in for reviews that is probably reviewed, being put into storage and never used again. So it's almost like a day one card. Yeah. And what he got was people that had been mining cards, to send him a card that he'd been using for the past 2 years solid. Yeah. Past 2 years solid, or whatever, maybe even longer. Yeah. But these cards have been running at full blast, full power to make the maximum amount of money out of them. And he did a comparison between a mined one that had been heavily mined and one that had like his old review card that's had very little mileage put on it. And there was no difference between the two. And generally speaking, what's going to go wrong with them graphics cards is, number one, it's like you have to give it like a bit of a service. Usually the fans go wonky on them. So like when it's spinning round, like it's done so many revolutions, it's going to be the fans and the heatsink paste and the and what they call the other thing.
Thermal pads.
Not the paste. I can't remember what they call.
Thermal
pads, that's it. Yeah, if you replaced all them, and you don't always have to replace them, usually just thermal paste to be the good trick. And even on a regular graphics card, the thermal paste you used to put on like them 1070s and 1060s and stuff is crud by this time in any case, whether it's been mined or not, or just sat in a PC playing Minecraft or whatever for like, on and off, not doing anything particularly intensive. That thermal paste will have dried out regardlessly. So you really should be opening up, and you'll probably find it drops 5 or 6 degrees just from putting fresh paste on it. So, but it's not so bad.
Yeah, I think they find the problems we're having was kind of the GPUs weren't actually running 100% all the time. They were downclocked, if anything, because you didn't really need to do a lot with it.
Yeah.
But it's basically, it can shorten that. It was shortening the lifespan on memory, so it would run fine. But you're getting like the memory failing on cards in the space of like a year, 2 years, rather than 5. So the DIMMs were literally burning out because they're just running throughput solidly. I think it's a problem. That could have been down to the pace, could be down to the cooling. If you bought a cheap crap card and you hammered it and there's no contact against it, it will murder it. But I mean, yeah, some of the stuff survives it. I mean, I don't know if I bought any cards that have been that in the last 2 years. I mean, I've done a couple of second-hand purchases. They said they weren't, but you can't guarantee it, can you? That's the only thing. It's kind of people being trustworthy. But I don't know. If you're lucky and you manage to get a cheap one, great. But I mean, in some cases, I imagine you'll find those cards, if they've been mistreated, sort of thing, it'll be the problem.
Well, if you ever buy a second-hand graphics card, one of the tests that I do on all my graphics cards when I buy them in is I'll run Heaven and I'll run, can't remember the other one for some reason, my brain's not with it. You know, the one that really hammers it. What they call it.
Furmark.
Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Furmark, yeah. So anyway, Furmark, run them two to test the temperatures to make sure it's not going like above a certain temperature. And then the next test I'll normally do is a program called OCCT. Yeah, totally free. You can get a free personal edition. But the one thing that Furmark doesn't do, and what Heaven Benchmark doesn't do, they're not interested in filling the memory up. They're all about using the core on the on the graphics card. They want it to run as fast as possible, yeah? So hammering the memory, of course, is part of it, but that might only fill up, say, 2 gigabytes of the VRAM. Now, that's not a great test. If you want to fully test a graphics card, OCCT has an individual VRAM test, which you can set. If you set it to 100%, it'll slow your computer right down because obviously some of that VRAM has to be used for your display. So, but I normally set it to say like 95%. And what it'll do, it'll hammer it and it'll go through and it'll cycle all the memory, give it a good test on that, and you will know if the VRAM's dodgy or not.
Sadly,
and it's totally free.
Yeah, the main reason I know about that is from playing PC Build Sim, because when you overclock computers you build on that, you actually use OCCT. So
yeah,
sadly enough,
it's a great program. Yeah, it's great. The only difference between that and the paid version, from what I've never bought the paid version, I probably should technically, but how can you say, in between you pressing the VRAM test, you have to wait 10 seconds and it pops up an advert saying, literally 10 seconds, it's not like it feels like 10 seconds, it's 10 seconds, it counts down. And basically the advert is to pay for a monthly like advanced package or not, you know, and you press the button and it does the test. So yeah, well worth doing just to check out. If you're buying your second-hand graphics cards, even if you're gaming on it, you can't always assume that it's filling up the VRAM completely.
Yeah.
And if you want to give it a good hammer in the VRAM, OCCT for sure.
Very good.
There we go.
More of Paul's tech tips.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on then. So the next thing we have is slips or game purchases. Has anyone fallen over and bought anything in this last month? With Black Friday being upon us and the pricing, frankly, being stupid on games, has anyone fallen over and bought anything? I haven't, which I'm quite chuffed to say. I got very, very close once, which was the paid DLC for Gran Turismo 7 that came out. They bought the Power Pack out or something, which is the only paid DLC they've ever done, which is £25 or something. But it comes with 5 million credits with it, which they would normally charge you £23 for anyway. So it's a fairly good deal. And there's loads of online championships, extra cars. They've put 100% realistic 24-hour races in it now as well. If you want to sit there for an entire day, you can do that, should you wish to. And play on there. But
okay.
I'm trying to convince the guys at work that we take my race wheel into the office on the massive 85 we got in the meeting room and actually do like a charity event and do a charity 24-hour race around the Mans. So I'm trying to get that organised at the moment.
What's that charity event for 24-hour gaming?
Oh, it's a special effects, whatever it is.
Around October?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
That's what I was sort of thinking of. We could do it for that and do the 24 hours, but literally do it as a proper sim night. We'll get like dominoes in and stuff like that and use the boardroom and just do it as a race team for the night. So when you do your pitting, you switch drivers and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking on that. So yeah, but that's kind of been the only thing is that paid DLC for GT7. I will get it in the new year because I have 200 and something hours in that game. So that's going to add to it. And just GT7 is the best Gran Turismo ever. So I've got to support it, to be honest with you. Other than that, I haven't bought anything. So mission not failed at all, which is a bonus.
No, me too. Haven't bought anything. I haven't been tempted since Ghost of Yote. So that's it. Doesn't matter. I keep seeing lots of small indie games popping up and hearing about them. I think I wouldn't mind playing that, but I can hold off. Hopefully they'll come up on PlayStation Plus or one of those services. Yeah. But yeah,
we'll do eventually.
Other than, but I've got too many games. I did a thing the other day where I went through all the listed older games. I must have over 3,000 something, 3,600 games.
Yep.
I've got, I don't know, it's just, no, I should not be looking at other games.
The PlayStation 5 does this thing where it says like what's in your folder sort of thing, what you got installed and what's in your catalog, and you're like, oh, that's everything. And then it's, no, do you want to see everything? And you're like, no, I don't really know. And it's going to be your PlayStation Plus catalog, and it's like, oh god, it's still scrolling. And I've gone back to like PlayStation 3 era, and these are still playable on here as well. I have this many games kicking around, and this is tens of thousands of hours worth of gameplay. I don't need to buy anything ever, probably for my children and their children at this point, if they were to keep using it.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Talking of Ghosts of Yotai, I was watching Digital Foundry's latest video, and they were talking about the best graphics of the year, because obviously Digital Foundry, they enjoy playing the games, and the gameplay is important to them, but one of their big focuses is on the graphics and how they've advanced over this year or previous years, etc. And one of the games, I thought Ghosts of Yotai, based on the graphics that I've seen on YouTube, etc., would have been one of their top games. But their top game actually came down to another similar game, which is, it wasn't the top game. I can't remember. I think it was second, this one. And that was Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, really?
Which is obviously, they massively rated the graphics on that. And also Doom, is it Dark Ages?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, Doom. They say that those graphics are superb
They
as
are
well.
pretty games. There's nothing you can't not say. The Doom games, the graphics engine on those games are spectacular. They're awesome. Really, really good. It's interesting.
It's crazy. The game you play at such speed, you don't even get a chance to look at the graphics. But
it's what about getting shot from multiple directions and not dying at the same time? But it's pretty. If you actually manage to find a piece where you're trying to solve a puzzle and look, wow, hell's really pretty for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So I'm assuming, Paul, you haven't slipped. Obviously, you've been playing PlayStation Plus stuff, I'm assuming, isn't it? So you're all good.
PlayStation Plus stuff. I have slipped a few ideas into the missus's sort of like mind sort of thing with regards to what I would like to be playing on New Year's Day, and they would make good gift suggestions. So I haven't bought anything, but I personally haven't technically bought anything. I'm not playing anything before New Year, but there has been a few ideas floated as to what I will be playing.
Same boat.
Very
Exactly.
Very good.
I mean, I think my daughter's talked about Astrobot too much for it to not appear at some point, I don't think, but that's going to be the hardest thing, is looking at it until January the 1st going, I want to play it. But it'll be worth it. Everyone has to leave me alone on New Year's Day for a bit. Cool. That's good. Okay. Last month we succeeded on that front. So that is a massive bonus. Well done, guys. So kind of like this is the last time to look at the monthly releases that we've got this in sort of like end of November into December. I've got a quick special mention, first of all. Not really so much a release, but more something that's been wish listed recently. From a LinkedIn sort of work related contact I have from my previous job, a guy called Neil Reed, who has the luck of being the sales manager for gaming laptops at NVIDIA. That's kind of a cool job, to be honest with you. His son, Alex, who I've recently sort of like started following on LinkedIn as well, and sort of because of a post that Neil put up about him, started a game studio called Mancunium Studios North in last year, a little indie studio. So he's followed in sort of dad's footsteps of the gaming industry, and he's followed him around all the trade shows and stuff growing up and things. And he's made a game called No Man's Land, which has currently just been wishlisted on Steam. And he did his first sort of real unveiling of it last week at the To the Moon Expo in the UK, which was really well received. So I mentioned it to him at the time and sort of said, we're doing this podcast, and I give it a shout out. So Alex, as promised, mate, here's a shout out for your game. Everyone go and look for No Man's Land on Steam. So it's an RTS game. It's all set in kind of what is pitch black almost, the dark trenches of World War One. So it's a real-time strategy type game, but it looks pretty daunting as sort of a map and stuff to play on. It's all kind of preview videos and stuff at the moment. Sadly, I didn't go to that show, so I didn't get to play the preview builds that he'd done of it. But as I said, it got good responses. Synopsis that I kind of took from Steam last night is: break the deadlock, make shrewd decisions in the field, and think on your feet. Take the enemy trenches at all cost. Beware of no man's land. Though it all separates you from your enemy, it has tricks up its sleeve at both factions. So it looks like a good little indie title, and small indie studios in the UK, we need more of them. So I'm more than happy to give them a shout out on that. So what I'll do is I'll drop a link in the video post we're going to do on the group as well, just so it's in there, so everyone can have a nose on Steam if they want to.
Just looking at it on Steam, that's quite good.
So it's a little studio doing it as well. It's quite cool. I really hope he has success with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's good. I mean, they've proved it in the past with games like Balatro. You don't have to be a multi-billion-dollar company, do you, to produce a game that is for the gamers. I mean, Balatro, I think, was it a one-man team scenario? So what more can you say? If the magic can happen just for one person, like it used to do back in the 48K days, the early days of Spectrum on Commodore 64 games. It was usually one person working in the bedroom or doing whatever, or working in the spare time and producing the foundations for gamers forwards. Really, absolutely amazing.
There was a game called The Falconeer, I think it was called, about 2-3 years ago that came out. And I think that was pretty much a one-man band game. He might have had some help with it afterwards, but it was a really tiny studio. And it came out and was on Game Pass when it was first released and got everyone shouting about it. It's a really decent game. So effectively you're riding on the back of a gigantic eagle, effectively. So and it's basically all the these huge eagles and stuff are used as weapons in the game, almost like fighter aircraft, and you're sort of going between map areas and stuff. And it was really beautiful to look at. And the musical score was awesome. It's one of those ones I think I've got it somewhere. I think I've got the day one edition on disc for Xbox. So I need to go and dig it out and actually have another look at it. It was a pretty cracking little game, actually. Forgot about that completely till we talk about this. Right, so let's have a quick nose around on what's happened in December. I've brought up the list here that I normally go and grab from. Where's it from? GameSpot. What have I got on here? I've got GT7's Power Pack, the thing I mentioned about, the £25 DLC. I've already covered that one off, but I'm really excited about that coming through. Was it 1st of December? There was Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. If anyone's played anything like the Streets of Rage games, or there was that Turtles Shredder's Revenge, or it was the side-scrolling beat-em-up platformer. It's the same guys who built that, whatever it is, .mu, or I can't remember what it's called now. But they've brought out this little Marvel-based side-scrolling beat-em-up that's 4-player, so it kind of echoes back to the pixel days of like Turtles, the arcade game and stuff from the 80s and 90s, which is pretty cool. So that's come out on the 1st of this month. This can be the last month we're doing this podcast, but this can be the first month that I'm excited about something on Switch 2. Which is Metroid Prime 4, because that looks absolutely insane.
It's just out, isn't it? It's just out.
Literally just out.
It's not had the best reception, though, has it? They're saying it's full of padding. The game's it's not really that great. It's good and it's enjoyable, but it isn't the game everyone's been really hoping for, really. I listened to another podcast, no doubt you guys potentially listen to them as well, and they did the Year of Shame Challenge, and that's how they met, and that's the other podcast, which is one called Two Guys, Three Consoles.
Yeah. And
they were talking about playing the new Metroid Prime, and they didn't seem overjoyed with it, and they are Nintendo. They enjoy Nintendo, but they wasn't overjoyed with the whole experience to the degree of sheer excitement. And, they got to play it all the way through again. There's been a bit of a complaint as well about the needing to have an amiibo to play certain music within the game. Without the amiibo, you have to complete the game 100% to be able to play this. I know it sounds wonky, right? If you type it in amiibo, Metro Prime 4.
Oh, God.
And that's the big complaint, is that Nintendo are milking you for this so you can listen to the music in the game.
I feel like an absolute plank for being excited about this now.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's meant to be. It's good. But these are one of them games. It's like the next Mario game level or the next Zelda anticipation level. Yeah, so you kind of you're expecting a 10, but people are getting like a 7.5 as opposed to a 10. That doesn't mean it's the worst game in the world, but if you're anticipating a 10, if you're expecting a 6 or a 5, well, then you're going to enjoy it. if you know what I mean. But if it's meant to be a bit,
it's a Nintendo franchise, isn't it? Metroid has always been good on every single console. Even the bloody Game Boy Advance, when they brought Fusion out on it, that was an insanely good game. Metroid Prime on the DS was the first kind of first-person one they put on there, and they managed to make it like Prime. Metroid Prime 1 and 2 on the GameCube, phenomenal. Still probably one of my favorite games ever, the first Prime. Insane. Even the Wii one was good with the motion controls when they introduced that to it. It's always been a franchise for Nintendo that's done well. So for it to now get onto this big flagship console with all the power it's got and to stumble, it's frustrating. I had no idea. I have to admit, I haven't looked at reviews because I'd stayed away from it a little bit because of it being a new release and it being Switch 2. Someone told me a couple of days ago, no, it's on Switch 1. Wow. It's like, shut up. I don't need to know this. Leave me alone, sort of thing. But I mean, yeah, that's a shame. It really is. I mean, because this does 120 hertz, doesn't it, as well on the Switch 2 or something?
Yeah. But the good thing is, though, if you're not going to be disappointed if you play it, really, because you're not anticipating this 10. You know it's a 7.5, and but there's sections in it where they say it's just designed to just fill things out, and also allegedly, when you play it, the characters that you meet, they're the sort of characters that talk to you, but they're not in it all the time. People say, "Don't worry, you haven't got to worry about these characters." But you get some games where they're a little bit like Forspoken, where the character just keeps talking a load of gibberish. Shut up! I'm playing my game. But it's meant to be full of that kind of stuff at the beginning. But then again, I've not played it. That's just me summarising from the bits and pieces I've heard.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure if you watch some YouTube, some guys will be absolutely buzzing, some YouTube reviews. But I think the general opinion seems to be about 7.5, really, rather than a 10.
Okay.
Like Zelda, they're never going to release a terrible Zelda game, or they should never do. And they should never release a terrible Mario game because they are they're going to polish them to the nth degree. So, but with Metroid, I do believe it went through a bit of a development hell scenario, didn't it? Where it was with one developer to begin with, and then it changed to another developer. So it has meant to have had a bit of a rocky road to some degree. So.
Retro Studios are the people who made the original ones. That was the first games, and they're phenomenal. They're Retro Studios are godlike for those games. So I don't know. Sad times if it isn't great. Oh well. Moving on.
Yeah. I'm sure it's great, but not like mind-blowingly amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one on my list was Assassin's Creed Shadows, which, I mean, I've never been a big fan of the Assassin's Creed game. They never grabbed me. I mean, I played the first few and maybe I was too young at the time and didn't appreciate it quite as much as I should have done. I started playing, was it Valhalla, which I kind of got into for a few hours, but I just didn't have time having young kids. But this one, it's set in Japan and it looks absolutely freaking amazing. And I'm kind of behind it and want to play it. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Well, it's been out on PlayStation since first quarter of the year, and it's just come out on Nintendo. They consider it a bit of a technical achievement. The Digital Foundry guys really enjoyed what they'd managed to do with it based on the hardware, etc. They do say it's a very good game on the Nintendo Switch too.
I think when you said start of the year, so that sounded a bit daft. It's been out for so long, but it's one of those things again where it's kind of I've tried to ignore releases a little bit, and it being Assassin's Creed, it just totally bypassed me. I just saw it like, oh, it's an Assassin's Creed game, great sort of thing. I won't be worried about it. But I mean, the first time I really looked into it was it running on a Switch, as you say. The thing I saw was them saying about that, like after proving that Star Wars Outlaws can run on a Switch too, which was already an achievement. Now they've proved that the Shadows can run on it as well, showing the power the Switch 2 does actually have if you put your mind to it, which is pretty impressive. But I mean, that's good. In fact, they've got an Assassin's Creed game that's running and playing well on a Switch. Kind of says a lot, really. It's good.
Yeah, I tell you, one of the games that it pops up on a YouTube as a bit of a surprise thing. I've had this game for years, usual about halfway through it, but the game is humongously big, and that's Yakuza 0. And they've just released a director's cut. And if you've got the original game, you can upgrade to the PS5 version.
Oh, really?
For basically it's about £11.99 to upgrade, which is something I would be tempted to do because I'm halfway through it. and I do enjoy the Yakuza games. And I've got Yakuza Kiwami, and I believe that's had a director's upgrade as well. But there again, that's meant to be another, like, say, $11.99 to upgrade from the PS4 version. But there again, the PS4 version I always thought looked pretty good, but obviously they've enhanced it, you know, better lighting, better frame rates, better resolution, all those sorts of things.
That's cool. Okay, yeah, I need to have a nose into that. What else have we got on there as well? There's loads of stuff. It seems to be like, oh, that's come out, but it's on Switch too. Like Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. The fact that it's a dungeon crawler that looks pretty cool, and they put it on a Switch again. Quite chuffed with that. What else have we got? There's Mutant Football League 2. I mean, for anyone who used to love Mutant League Football on the Mega Drive, the first one was all right. But this one is just a ridiculous version of American football, effectively, with zombies and stuff in it. Octopath Traveler 0. That seems to be a new one of those. I got Octopath with my Switch, and kind of weirdly going back to about an hour ago on the podcast, I got Octopath Traveler with it, and it was a brand new game at the time. So I was like, this is worth a fortune. Put it on eBay and sold it for like £40, and then found a copy of Mario Odyssey for 33 by it now and just bought that straight away. So that's how I ended up with Mario Odyssey being my first game on the Switch, which, by the way, is bloody amazing, and I agree with you. Avatar, whatever the game was called, something I can't remember the full title of it.
Pandora.
That's the one. Yeah, that's got eventually. It's been they've been going on about it for ages, but that DLC's come out where they've done a load of work to it and given it third person and stuff like that. They've been flaunting it for a long old time, and now apparently it's out. Someone seemed to send me anyway. I thought it was already out, but it seems it's been delayed a couple of times. Has anyone actually played the game initially or not?
I've never played any of the Avatar. I don't even know much about it before.
Yeah, is it Avatar as in the film Avatar?
Yeah.
Oh, no, is it? Because they do another game, don't they? And it's called The Avatar afterwards. It's like a manga thing. It might have just been one of their season names for it, like something else, manga-y sort of thing.
Frontiers of Pandora Avatar is the full name of it, to give it that, which is a Ubisoft game. It's a first-person
I did play it. I do like Ubisoft games, and it's kind of like Far Cry, but Avatar version. And for some reason, I couldn't get into the story, but sometimes I play these games and I'm a little bit tired, or I've got other games to play, and I didn't quite get into it, which is unusual because I like Far Cry style games, and that technically is a bit of a Far Cry game, really.
Yeah, I put about 3 or 4
similar
hours
engine
into it.
At least.
Yeah, I think I put about three or so hours into it. Enjoyed it, but kind of lost momentum with it a little bit. It can be a little bit stayed at times, and you kind of get caught up in just wandering aimlessly. Then you'll suddenly do it, solve a puzzle, and get into something else and a bit of storyline. And it gets good, but it kind of has like tripping points between the story, I found a little bit. But the graphics engine was absolutely phenomenal. The first bit of it, when you walk out into the forest for the first time, the musical score, the graphics and everything are mind-blowing, especially on ultra-wide on a PC when I played it. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in that to see how it works, because the mechanics are a little bit flaky sometimes first person. So having that extra field of vision with it being third person might well help. So watch this space. I guess we'll see on that one. The 2D Terminator game that was kind of like a Mega Drive style game, No Fate, whatever it was called, that was meant to be out, I think it was October, got delayed until this month. So that has literally just come out as well, which does look pretty cool. Quite interested in that. I do love a good side-scrolling shooter / beat 'em up.
I was say that might be quite good. I haven't played a game like that for a while, so
yeah, it seems to be getting kind of decent sort of reception. I believe anyway. Hopefully so.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Yeah,
but I was looking at the list. As a poll, you have VR, the Thief.
Yeah, I've got
VR game.
Yeah, I watch a guy, and he reviews all these VR games. It's like that's his YouTube channel thing. I think I skipped towards like the back end of it and they say that it's kind of well done. So yeah, but I used to love the Thief games. I used to love all that sneaking around, going on the rooftops and sort of like investigating areas. So yeah, it's probably one of the few VR games that's kind of like piqued my interest. The VR is literally sat downstairs gathering dust, and I keep meaning to put it online and get it sold, but it never seems to happen. So, but yeah, I would like to play more VR, but it can be hard work, that VR, man. You put that big helmet on your head and, and the sometimes you get the motion sickness after a little while, etc. It can be a bit of it can be a job to get your mind into wanting to actually play that. Yeah. But yeah, definitely.
There's another game on that looks like it's MetaQuest 3 and PlayStation VR 2. It's a Star Trek game of all things called Star Trek Infection, which looks like it's trying to be Alien Isolation, but with Star Trek involved. That's what I can seem to see. It's a new game will boldly go where no game franchise has gone before. Survival horror. You're in a derelict Defiant class spaceship has been overtaken by an unknown entity. You'll need to manage the infection inside the ship of your Vulcan body. So you play a Vulcan in it, and you have to survive this ship with an unknown monster on it. So it kind of sounds, if you like survival horror stuff, I imagine it'd be pretty good with the Star Trek back end in it. But it's something that's come out of nowhere. I had no idea it was coming at all. Came out 3 days ago, apparently, on the 11th.
A VR full body survival horror. That's a big no. I don't need a horror game like that. Jesus. No,
well, December the 4th was the Elden Ring expansion pack, Night Rain, The Forsaken Hollows. I haven't played the original Elden Ring, so that doesn't help me a lot. But
I've totally lost. Because Elden Ring had a DLC, if I remember rightly. Then there was Night Rain, and Night Rain has a DLC.
Yeah, so it's Elden Ring, Night Rain, The Forsaken Hollows. So it seems to be a £15 expansion, which adds to the expansion. I'm confused.
Night Rain is
It's
the
getting
online
a bit.
one.
It's getting a bit Destiny, isn't it? With all these expansions on top of expansions.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Destiny 2
Has an
Renegades
expansion.
Yeah.
I adored the first Destiny. I loved it, and Destiny 2 I was massively hyped for. But they just made it too complicated, though. I mean, they were talking about on one of the other podcasts the other day, the Seal podcast. They have overcomplicated. If you probably tried to drop back into Destiny 2 after being away for a number of years, you're going to be mega confused and have no idea. Even if you put hundreds of hours into Destiny 1, you will not know what's happening. It'll make no sense.
I played Destiny 2 for about a year, really enjoyed it on and off. And then my nephew got it. I got a PS4 or something. That's how long ago it was, and was like, "Oh, I'm playing it on. Do you want to play with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I jumped back in. Literally no clue what I was doing. The only time I've been more confused was the original Mass Effect. And literally, I just deleted my save on that and just gave up.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
I was going to say I couldn't even start the game. I didn't know where to go from the very start menu. Like I knew you've got this choice of worlds, and I could not find which mission to do, where, what. So I just gave up. I spent ages trying to look, and I even had a guide that some website did how to get back into Destiny, and I could not figure it out. So I just gave up on the game. I would love to learn how to play the game, but I don't know. Not Destiny 3 comes out. Hopefully they'll reset everything, make it easy and simple to get into.
It'll be a DLC, don't worry about it.
I'll wait till then.
It's a Destiny 2, Destiny 3 DLC. All right, great, thanks. Cool. We got anything else on the list? What was that? See, it's weird because December's normally such a big month, but it's kind of, there's some good stuff in there. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as heavy as expected. I mean, the thing is, October and November were quite release heavy with Battlefield, Call of Duty, all those kind of things happening before we hit Christmas, if you will. And actually, we're in a position where the biggest games of the year are now being discounted before Christmas, which is an interesting position to be in, to be honest with you. But hey, it's a good thing for everyone who wants games for Christmas, I suppose.
Well, the January sales or Boxing Day sales or whatever, there's going to be games in there that came out in January and February. They're going to be like $19.99 or $24.99. There's going to be a whole slew of games. And the big advantage of this kind of thing as well is you're going to get to play it with all the patches.
Yeah.
It's going to be as it was intended, as opposed to, this rushed out thing. So, yeah, it does have its benefits. Things will be cheaper. Things will be finished. And that's a nice way to play a game. Because often you can read about a game and be put off by a game because when it first comes out, bad launch, blah, 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 blah. Give it another 6 months, 12 months. It's turned around. No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk. They're all classic scenarios of what can happen with a game.
One of those, exactly that situation is, I said about it last month or the month before, a game called Painkiller that's coming out on the PlayStation 5. And it was an FPS on PC made by, was it People Can Fly Studios? It must have been early, mid-2000s kind of thing. Before that, probably late 90s. But they've redone it, and there's a whole new game come out. It looked absolutely phenomenal. The trailers look great. It got absolutely just hammered when it came out. Apparently, all the reviews are like 3-4 out of 10 on it. They totally stuffed the release. So bear in mind, I think it came out on like November the 20th or something stupid or something like that. I'll hold it up to it. That's currently, if it's going to zoom in, my camera's going to work. It won't do. But it's currently £14.99 in Argos. And it came out literally under a month ago.
Jesus.
So it's dropped from 60 quid to £15 because people don't want to buy it because it's had a bad I mean, quite frankly, for that money, it's almost something I would pick up, as you said, to hopefully they'll fix it. Another one I looked at, I was quite kind of excited for, that Recreation game as well that was made by the people who made Burnout. That got mixed at best reviews when it came out. £16 on Amazon at the moment. And that's another 50 quid game. And then someone actually put, although I do trust Metacritic quite a lot because that obviously has all the different site reviews on it. And someone said, that everyone hated it and they said it was terrible when it came out. They've actually fixed 80% of the bugs in a major patch and they announced it. And now the game is absolutely brilliant. And it's still 16 quid. Like, well, crap, everyone should just buy it then. I mean, give it a chance. I mean, Three Fields Entertainment are, let's say, a high proportion of the original Burnout dev team. They know what they're doing, so give it a chance. So, I mean, hopefully it'll be good for everybody pricing-wise in a new year. I hope.
Nobody seems to review games 6 months down the road, or very few people do a second review. Yeah.
Easier just to chuck crap at the wall the day it comes out and then not think about it. But it's a shame. If everyone had done that with No Man's Sky, I'm not giving them a chance. Where would that be now? But how many millions of copies has that sold?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Incredible.
It'd be good to see reviews 6 months down the road so you know if you're going to be buying a game later on, you know the state of the game you're buying.
That is good. There's some YouTube channels who do that quite often. It's just like 6 months later or 12 months later on games. I end up watching them because, I'm going to do it more now because I'm not buying things release day is kind of my thing. Come to the questions in a minute, actually. But it makes a big difference. And those down the line things, and they chucked time and energy into it if they want to, it can make a massive difference. So fingers are crossed, definitely. Right. So that leaves us with one more section, which is everybody's questions, which thank you to everyone, because especially for the last month, there's been loads, and they're all quite in-depth questions as well, actually. So quite a biggies. So I've got the list in front of me here. I think I've luckily printed them out. In a minute, I'm going to check on my phone just in case I haven't got the right wordings. I want to make sure I do it correctly for everybody. There we go. Okay, so I'll go top to bottom. So the first question we have is from Blair Ferguson. Do you think you will just revert to type, or do you think your purchasing process will be different? For instance, will you still be a day one purchaser or waiting to see what the hype was about, price drops, etc.? In addition, what was the biggest surprise you had in regards to games of your pile, either better or worse than you expected? So 2 questions in there. First one, are you going to revert to type? Are you just going to go out and just buy loads of games? Me, I hope I'm not, and I don't want to, and I quite think that this year has kind of taken the edge off me being kind of a little bit smash and grab when it comes to purchasing games and just going for it. But a little bit of me wants to go completely ass crazy on January the 1st on Amazon and buy lots of stuff. So hopefully option 1, but I'll let you know if it's option 2, would be the response from me. Brian?
We were talking about this earlier, myself and Paul. Saros is coming out middle of next year, and I was looking at doing a pre-order, but there's no benefit to doing it. So, you can get armor, which I think is just cosmetic, so there's actually no point in doing it. So I don't think I'll do day one again. Hopefully I've beaten that urge. So like Saros is a game I want to buy, but I won't pre-order, and I don't think I'll buy it day one. I'll wait, see how it goes. Hopefully the reviews will come in and it'll be excellent, like Returnal. But yeah, I think I've learned something, maybe, hopefully. Touch wood. But
I hope so.
I don't think. Yeah, I think I'll be a bit more patient in my gaming. I hope so, anyway. Yeah, I think so. Paul, how about you?
Yeah, I feel doing this for a year has taken me off the treadmill, the gaming treadmill, where a new game's coming out and you bought the new game day one, and you're kind of like already looking at what's coming out in 4 weeks' time. So I have to get this game finished. Otherwise, I know it's going to go into a pile and it's never, ever going to get finished. So I don't think I want to revert back to that, because it was starting to feel like as if I was doing work, which is not a good way to be playing games. If you just try to crash your way through a game and just to get it finished and just to see the end so that you can say you finished it, you haven't kind of like wasted any money, because I'm tight-fisted, so I don't like to look at somebody just rotting away in the corner, although I've got the VR too, just rotting away in the corner. But it does break my heart to do that kind of thing. So no, I'm not going to revert back to that. I'm going to just pick out the gems and play them when and if. And also, no doubt you guys have also watched PlayStation, the games given away over the subscriptions over the year. The games that you were probably going to buy last year, some of them are going to come onto the subscription for nothing in any case, or a subscription you've already paid for. So you might as well hold off and just buy them in dribs and drabs. And the big benefit, obviously, the games all being patched up. So I do appreciate that. And I don't, even during this year, one thing I thought I would obsess over would be watching YouTubes of games and the reviews. Whereas now, because I knew I couldn't buy them, what I'll do, I'll watch the first minute and then I'll skip to the verdict at the end, which is pretty much all you need to we've all done enough gaming. You could pick up from the verdict if you're going to like it or not. I skip to the verdict, I listen to the verdict, and I think, all right, yeah, that sounds interesting. And I've just moved on. So I've enjoyed not being on a treadmill and feel as if gaming is work. So that's what I've definitely don't want to get back onto that treadmill. I don't want to have too many. I've still got too many games regardless, but I don't want to add to more too many games to the too many games I already have. So no, I don't think I will.
Yeah. Perfect end to the question. I think everyone's sort of like, yeah, exactly that. You don't want more games on top of games on top of games.
Only type of game I miss or feel FOMO about is stuff like Helldivers. Was it 2 years ago? I didn't buy it, so I held off. I never got to play that whole thing where you have a whole group of mates all playing the one game at the same time. And then this year, Arc Raiders come out, and you've got the same thing, everybody doing the same thing again. And I've held off on buying both of those, and I sort of regret doing it. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I can control that urge if a third one comes out next year, and I can hold off and not rush straight in the minute I see something. Because I saw a new game coming out this month, if it's not already out, is Splitgate. Yeah. Splitgate was out before, and then there was Splitgate 2, and there's a new version coming out this month, which is like a combination of the first two games. And I loved Splitgate, but I don't know if this, like, I played that with a group of people, so I don't know if I'd get into this again, but we'll see. I'm going to try and resist. That's the one thing I sort of miss, is where the FOMO hits me most, watching that happen. Yeah. Anyway.
That's fair enough. I kind of agree, to be honest with you. Yeah, there is a little bit of that with other people playing it this year, and I haven't. But yeah, I've got past it, just about. Then I guess playing things together on monthly games, I think, has helped with that as well. I think that's what did it. So the second part of Blair's question was, what was the biggest surprise in regards to games you had off of your pile, either better or worse than you expected? So I quickly scribbled down, there's three for me. Gris, whatever it is, was absolutely phenomenal. I love that game so much. First game I've cried at for quite a while at the end of it. That was incredible. Sackboy has literally blown my mind as far as platformers go. Can't say enough good things about that game. It was absolutely insane. And I have to say, Arcade Paradise that I played at the start of the year, I got completely and utterly sucked into that game. Doing laundry work and building an arcade in the back of the thing was amazing. Absolutely loved all three of those. And they're all games that were sat in my pile that I never knew existed, to be honest with you. I'd completely forgotten about them a long time ago. So, yeah, biggest surprises for me. Paul, what about you?
Sackboy, 101%. I had played it before, in the respect of I probably, it's one of them essential games or whatever that turned up for free on PlayStation. So it's been added to your library. You've given it you've given it an hour and think to yourself, oh, well, I might go back to that. And because it came up on the wheel challenge, I went back to it and absolutely was drawn straight back into it in a massive way, and just totally enjoyed it. It's been, you could potentially call it, I think Ben were talking about being his game of the year. And I'd say it's potentially a game of the year scenario as well for me, that particular game. And even though I've played Astrobot, which is technically better, but that game there, fantastic, absolutely amazing. I would highly recommend anyone that's got Sackboy, if you've got PlayStation Essential and all that kind of stuff, and it's sat there in your library, definitely give it a go. Definitely. But there's been so many other games like Gris, like yourself. The advantage of playing Gris is that it was like a 4 or 5 or maybe 6 hour game, so you could play it. You know, it's nice to finish a game. If you're doing this Year of Shame challenge and you've got a massive pile of game, one of the things you're missing out on is completing games. And without being able to complete a game, you're not fully really getting the benefit of gaming. That is one of the benefits of gaming, is finishing a game sometimes. And that can be a great achievement, just to see the credits roll at the end. That can be that, you know, it really draws you on. Whereas these days, the games are so big that it can be difficult to see those credits, and it almost can make gaming a little bit pointless. Well, it's like watching films, but I never watched the ending. Why did you start watching the film? What was the point? You know, there's no point. Yeah, why have you watched, you know, so you're missing out on the ending on a lot of these games. So I don't know, but it's difficult. Games are so big, and it's a constant stream of new quality games coming out all the time. Who isn't going to want to play them?
Absolutely.
Can't blame anybody for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Surprise this year that was good. Sheepy, a short adventure. It is short, it's cute, it's a platformer on Steam, and I did not expect to like it as much as I did. So I would recommend people try that out. Sheepy, Sheepy.
That's a very good point.
Tearaway Unfolded, I did not expect to like it.
Brilliant.
I was really blown away by it. It's not my type of game at all, or hasn't been in the past, and it really surprised me at being that good. The story was, and the graphics and the mechanics were all very good. And then, I suppose, Forspoken, I just spoke about, it was way better than anything I've been led to believe in the media. So it's not a brilliant game, but it's way better than what the media said it was. It is quite a good game. So Forspoken, yeah, that'll be the games I thought biggest surprises for me this year.
It's good. It's a real mixed bag there between us all, which is pretty decent. Right, so next one we got is Joe Middleton's, quite an easy one. Was it all worth it in the end? I'll start with, I'm honest, I've written it down here. This is probably the easiest sentence I had to write for any of my notes, was more than yes. Absolutely. It was great fun. Absolutely loved it. I found so many lost gems in my pit of despair that is my games catalogue that I'm so glad that I went back to and had a look at. And the most important thing about the whole lot is I met you two, and it's been awesome. I've met two classifiers, I've definitely friends, and I've just absolutely loved every minute of it for the whole year. It's been great. Really, really good. Absolutely terrifying to start off with, because I've never put myself out to do something like this before. I think we're all kind of that opinion to start off with. But yeah, so worth it. Brilliant. That's how I feel. Yeah,
it was almost scary thinking about not buying games, oddly enough. And, you know, but it's turned out to be a real blessing in disguise. It's something I'd sort of like toyed with the idea, because obviously they've been doing the Year of Shame challenge for many years. But yeah, it is a massive benefit. Do not fear not buying games. You already have enough games in there. It's like going shopping, you know, for the next 2 weeks, when you've already got a cupboard and a freezer so cram-packed full of good quality food that there's just you're just wasting your money. People, keep it, you know, buy all that food when it's cheaper, when you need it, not now when you've got so much in storage, man. Well, like, basically, probably as a kid, you all had like a hamster, right? And the more food you put out for that hamster, the more it'll put in its little house, yeah? You could open that, you can keep filling up that hamster's little pot, right? And it will keep taking that food and putting it in its house non-stop. And that's what gamers are, man. They're hamsters. They're storing all these games up unnecessarily. Yeah, we're just hamsters.
Oh, God, is this the title now?
That's the title. The gamers are hamsters.
We're all hamsters on a wheel, man. This is what it is.
I'm losing it.
Wow, this has got deep all of a sudden.
No, I think that sums it up. And we're all like stuffing it into our little pouches, you know, in there, taking it home with us, putting it in our little hut. So, yeah.
game console boxes would surely be shark in the cheeks, right? It probably hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's cool. Oh dear. Right. Next.
Yeah.
Brian.
Okay. Was it worth it? Okay. I've got to play a load of games that I had. A lot of them were on my pile, and I had this guilt trip. I wanted to play them, and they were just being pushed back. So it was good to get them done. I found some new games that I really enjoyed. It was really good. I met you guys, which has been, as you said, it's been amazing to have someone to chat with for so long and become friends with. It's been really, really cool. I've enjoyed it. It's been invaluable, especially living out here, having so few people to actually just chat games and shit with. And at all times of the day and night, you've been brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's been great. One more thing about buying missing games, despite what I said earlier, you get over that quite quick because you just you probably accept the fact that you're not going to look at the games coming in, or you're not going to consider buying them, and you just focus on your backlog. So that's been pretty much easy-ish. So there's been one or two wobbles, but other than that, it's been pretty easy. The one thing that has annoyed me about this year is that I didn't do what I wanted to do. I had intended New Year's Eve last year. I bought Baldur's Gate 3. I bought Cyberpunk, and I haven't played either. And there's a whole host of other long games that I have. Death Stranding, I haven't played. And these are games I want to play. And did I touch them this year? No, because I just stuck on. I played 24 games, or nearly complete 24 games, so I'm still playing. And I was like, oh my God, Brian, you've a whole year and you didn't do what you intended to set out to do. But has it been worth it? Yes. I met the three of you, the two of you, and I played a whole host of great games, but not the great games I wanted to play. But yeah, it's been really worth it. I enjoyed it so much. And it is nerve-wracking at the start, just chatting nonsense into a microphone is a bit nerve-wracking. You edit, and when I edit, I cut out all the shit I say, so I sound intelligent somewhat. So some episodes, if people are listening, I'll appear more intelligent than others, and they're the episodes I have edited to make myself look good and clear up everything else. But yeah, it is quite good fun. And if you were ever thinking about meeting up with 2 or 3 or 4 other strangers, you're just talking about games that we all love, and it's nothing but joy doing this. So yeah, I enjoy it. There's no stress. It feels nervous. I felt nervous at the start, but no, it's just really cool. I enjoy it. I look forward to this. But yeah. So that's my answer to that question. It would definitely be worth it.
Awesome. Yeah, brilliant. That's great that we all feel that way. That's proper cool. It's lovely to come out the other side of this and all feel that we've done something right. Definitely did it right, I think. Yeah. So the next, moving on to the questions of post a little bit here now, is from Richard Birch. What is lined up as your first January purchase when you have a vendor, basically, and buy a load of games, which we hopefully just said that we're not going to do. To his words, what's queued up for the January the 1st purchase fest? With his exact words. What I'm going to say, well, Astrobot is the honest answer. If I get Astrobot on January the 1st, that's me sorted for a couple of months. It's the only thing I am desperately wanting to play. There's a few underneath. Arc Raiders I'd like because I have some friends playing it. And Assetto Corsa Rally purely because it's really good, and currently it's £15 on early access, and it will be £40 at some point. Outside of that, it's not a lot. It's not this massive, huge, go and get a trolley and go run, like, take the front of the shop out situation. I'm not feeling that way at all. I just want to play Astrobot. That's it. I just need one thing. Just need my fix. Paul, what about you?
Well, I know that I'll be playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I'm going to try to take it 1 or 2 games at a time. But I have got a list of games which are pretty much standout games, and these are probably games that everybody would probably want to play to some degree. I mean, I know you guys aren't big into your horror games, but I quite fancy playing Silent Hill F, Outer Worlds 2, and another one which we're quite disappointed to learn is digital only, and that's Dying Light the Beast. So I don't like buying digital games because I can't resell it after I've finished it. First Berserker Kazan, which has got an easy mode that has been added around about 6 months after it came out, which makes it my kind of game now. I love a Dark Souls game but I don't like how difficult they get. The bosses often are I hit a wall with them massively. So unless there's like a multiplayer scenario where someone comes in and does it for me, I'm usually a little bit, I want to see more of the world, but I can't. But because I've added the easy mode, the games can still be quite long. It probably still take me 20 hours to finish it, but I'll get to enjoy the world. Death Stranding 2, Metal Gear Solid, Hell Is Us, Chronos: The New Dawn, Stalker 2, Ghost of Yotai. But all them games I ain't buying day one. Those are just games that I have my eye on for the future. I'm not going to pile in there. Even if every one of them games came out and they were in the January sales at £10 each, I still wouldn't buy them. I might buy them to resell them in that respect, to make money on them. But I wouldn't buy them to put them in my pile of shame unnecessarily. I think I've learned that it's pointless. So, yeah, absolutely. You're diluting your own fun. Diluting your own fun by building up all them games. It becomes an impossible scenario. Gaming ain't meant to be like that.
Cool. Yeah, agreed. Definitely so.
I'm trying to remember the question. Oh, what we queued up? Queued up for January 1st will be God of War Ragnarok. It is currently on PlayStation Plus, and it is rumoured to be leaving in the middle of January. I fly back to Ireland and don't get back here till January 9th or so. So I'm going to have a very short time to try and finish that game. But I don't want to end up having to pay for that game if it's been free all year and I've missed it because of this. So it'd be handy for the Patreon money that never came in. But so that'd be the game I want to play straight away. Then 2 other games from this year I really missed out on. Ghost of Yotai. A huge fan of the Ghost of Tsushima, so I really want to play that game. And then Clair Obscur, because it's won so many awards and people's opinions of JRPGs or the RPG have been so profound that I really want to try that game. But maybe later. God of War first. Yeah.
Yes, it's a huge game. Graphically impressive, massively impressive.
Ragnarok.
Outstanding graphics.
Yeah. Cool. I look forward to playing that.
It's very, very reserved. Well done. Only 3.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the next question is from Stuart Ramage, which is, what was your hardest point of the year and how did you get through it? So again, kind of easy, a little bit, really. The start. That was the hardest bit of it all. Just how you're getting your feet under the table. How do I get started? What am I going to do? Do I sound like an absolute prick? Which is a yes, but that's fine. I got past that after about 6 months. But yeah, that was kind of it. But how did I get through it? How did I get through it? Talking to you guys. That's how I got through it. The camaraderie of having the people you're doing it with. And I think I said it before, but the idea of us having the monthly games to play, which kind of gives us all something. You definitely have something you're focusing on, and you're focusing on together as a group, and it gives you content for the podcast. It gives you something to work through and talk between those times. It was just cracking. Really, really great idea. I can't remember. I think it was it you, Brian, who got the idea of doing a monthly game? I can't remember what it was, but whoever did, it wasn't me. Yeah, but that was a top-notch idea, and it worked an absolute treat. That was the hardest point, and getting through it was as easy as it was to not be worried about it, I think. So that's me, definitely.
For me, the hardest part, same as yourself, the start, and then Ghost of Yotai coming out. I almost buckled for that game, but Stuart himself messaged me, telling me how good the game was, and not that it put me off buying it, but he was not that he was encouraging me to buckle, because he kept every so often I get this message from him about telling me how great this game is, but it just maybe helped me think I can hold off, and in 6 months' time I'll get to play this game, or 5 months I'll get to play this game, and it'll still be great then. So yeah, that's. He wasn't. It didn't feel like he was teasing me, so I felt okay with it. Yeah, but I think that was the worst part, the worst time the whole year. Other than that, yeah, it was okay. The rest of the year, it wasn't bothered at all with FOMO all that much, except for the Arctic Raiders. How about you, Paul?
Yeah, it was just maybe the overthinking at the beginning of going technically cold turkey. We're all addicts, aren't we, in many respects when it comes to gaming.
Yep.
So you have to really think that through, really, but it's nowhere near as bad as you think. Well, I've been gaming, I mean, just like you guys, you've probably been gaming since like 11 or maybe even younger. So it's been a constant theme throughout your life. It's like taking away food or something, really. But yeah, I didn't think it was that bad at all. I really enjoyed it. And like meeting these two guys, obviously, has been an absolute pleasure. We've never really chatted in Facebook. We've never really sent any messages. I might have hit the like or the love button on a few of their posts or something, but never thought much else about it other than reading the comment. So even meeting two totally new to me people, and I think it was the same for Brian and Ben. I don't think they'd met before or even chatted. I'm not sure. They may have done, but we've never played a game in the past. It's not like as if it was a team effort in the respect of we all decided to do it together. We all individually made the decision to and got into a Facebook group, not a Facebook group, a messenger group. And we just went from there, really. And it's just evolved. But the like Ben was saying, and Brian, the common theme is the gaming. You've got such a big common theme and interest that doing something like this will just work, unless you have a total all-out war. Maybe you've got a PlayStation person that's pure PlayStation or a person that's Xbox, and you're going to start slinging things at each other about how the PlayStation's better than the Xbox. Well, and it's all out war for the next 12 months. Well, then I can't see how you can't get along. It's just you've got such a genuine interest it's so deep inside playing all them games for all them years that you can't fail not to get along, really, I don't think.
Yeah, it's all about celebrating the joy of gaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's been a
Whatever
pleasure.
You're playing, it's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, last one, which was from from Stuart as well, actually. This was, what game do you regret spending time on this year when you could have been working through others in your pile?
Oh dear.
Go on, Brian, you go first on this one.
Okay, very first game of the year, XO1. I'd heard so much about this game that it was really good. This is another game I bought New Year's Eve. And maybe it is really good, because I used to listen to I think the podcast called 3 Hours Played or something like that. And they raved about this game. So brilliant. And I could not get on with it. I finished it, but it's all about movement, and I could not get the character like some sort of spaceship to move or glide smoothly the whole way through the game. It was dreadful. The very first game, that was really, really shit. Then After Party, which is I've talked about last month, it was so annoying. It's so annoying. I should have just stopped it. I could tell pretty much an hour into it I was not going to gel with this game. The dialogue in the game is just absolutely annoying. The jokes were overplayed and just crazy. I did not like the humor at all. I should have just binned it, but I didn't. I stayed the whole way through and completed it just to add to the finished pile, which was a waste of time. Absolute utter waste of time. I wish I hadn't done it. But yeah, they're the two I shouldn't have played and wasted all my time on. But there you go. How about you, Paul?
I'll say the only game I didn't particularly enjoy, but it was good to try it. And that was the skateboard game that Ben was really good at. Do you remember the little 2D scrolling one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't get along with that one, but that typically is not my kind of game. But it's good that it came up as the game to play, because it was good to try it, and I can at least say that I tried it because I never would have tried it otherwise, but it's just not my kind of game. What was the name of the game, Ben? You probably remember.
Ollie World.
Ollie World, that's it. It just wasn't mine. I just can't, I'm not that skilled. This is probably why I'm pretty crud at Dark Souls games and I have to play it on easy mode, because I just haven't quite got that. It's definitely a skill issue scenario, but I still enjoyed the Dark Souls games. But the skateboarding game, that was a tough one for me, was that I found it frustrating to the point of if I didn't know better, I would have thrown the controller through the screen. If I had to play that to the end, I'm not sure which should come first. The broken screen or the end or the end of the game. I could not have finished that game. I think it would have been impossible for me. If someone says to me, I could never game again until I finish that game, I think my gaming would be over. I just couldn't play it anymore. It was too much.
Yeah, I found that difficult after a bit.
Yeah.
I couldn't even finish the tutorial in it.
Yeah.
A really difficult game.
It's a tough game, but Ben, you've glided through it, didn't it? Because it's your sort of game.
I wouldn't say glided. I made it through. It was hard work at points, to be honest with you. And I literally done a lot of stuff on like 1 star and thought, I'm not going back to that. I'll literally end up, they say like launching my Steam Deck into the nearest tree. So I just left it alone after a while.
Yeah.
I did get through it. It was kind of those ones I just thought I'd have a better finish, to be honest. Right. So mine, easy question, which I think I wrote back. I think I did repost at the time underneath as a reply, just saying this is so easy. Did I? I'm pretty sure I did. Yep, there we go. That is Trials of the Blood Dragon. I love Trials games, the ones with the bikes on it. You have to do stunts and balancing and do assault courses. And there's the Blood Dragon, which was the Far Cry knockoff, like an 80s stupid action movie thing. And some reason they put Trials and Blood Dragon together, which created the world's biggest pile of utter bullshit, basically. It's crap. It's a game that's based on physics, control, and like the game being like realistic with everything. It literally had the worst controls ever. The graphics were crap. The narrative was crap. The story was crap. Literally, the word I put on it was an R stain on the Trials brand. That was the word I put. So to say I didn't like it is probably an understatement. And I genuinely, Ubisoft, if anyone from there is it, you should just never have done that. Don't ever do stuff like that again. Trials is a great brand. Make Trials games. That's all you need to do. But that is the only game that I have played in the last 12 months that I thought, shit, I could have done something more useful, like, I don't know, walk in circles or something. Other than that, everything else was bob on. So, yeah, okay, an easy one to finish with. But quite an offensive one, an angry one, I suppose, really, more than anything else. But, yeah, that's it. That's all the questions done with.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to do one shout. Let me just do one shout out to Ajax for getting in touch with me, saying I need appreciation.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thank you much. That's it. Just thank you. Thank you for that message. Meant a lot. So
no, I appreciate that.
You could have put money onto the Patreon, but you didn't. But
no,
next time.
I mean,
thanks a lot, mate.
Did you forget sending the OnlyFans link as well? That's your own fault. But
we could have read him a sexy bedtime story for probably £100 if we paid into the Patreon.
He works on. He's a groundsman, so I hope he doesn't get hurt with the lawnmower or something when he's trying to listen to our sexy stories. Yeah, that'd be. Anyway.
Right, so appreciate everyone's questions. That's really cool. Thank you very much for sending them in. There was a really good selection in there. And yeah, it felt like a nice way to sort of round things off, which was pretty cool, really. So this is a little bit difficult actually, because the last thing I've got at the bottom of here is last show sign off. So there's no creaky wheel this month. There's no what we intend on doing next month. This is kind of it, which feels exceptionally weird. It's sort of become a bit of a normality every month now to come and do this. So it's a little strange.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what to do really.
But we are kind of back again, aren't we? Because we've got a handover show.
Yes. There will be a handover show. That is correct. So we will be back to do a handover show in January because, as much as that alludes to, there are some willing victims for next year, which in time you will find out who they are. And we'll be doing a handover show with these buffoons in January. So you'll find out then. But yeah, in the meantime, kind of we've reached December. We've reached the end of the year of shame. And we've all, to some degree, I think, succeeded quite well.
That's it. Yeah.
Cracking.
Amazing.
So, yeah, absolutely. So I'm not quite sure how to finish off, really, apart from, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I am contemplating whether in the future to do this again because I've enjoyed it so much. And thank you very much for putting up with me for the last 12 months. And that goes for everyone else who's listened as well, because I hate my voice. and I have no idea how I've done this for 12 months, but it's been pretty cool at the same time. So, yeah, I don't know where else to go after that, really. Anything, gentlemen?
Yeah, that's quite profound. Thank you to you both. Thank you to anybody who's listened. As Ben said, he hates his voice, so do we all. But no, we hate
You
our
hate my
own.
voice as well.
If you anybody out there listening hates my voice, just imagine being in a classroom with Japanese kids learning to speak English with my accent. So that happens. Every day they're all going Monday, and how much is that? So it's I'm teaching them how to speak English proper. But no, this has been brilliant. I've looked every episode I've looked forward to doing. It's been quite cool. Yeah, it's been a really big positive thing for me. So a step forward into this. I'm quite impressed with how well we've worked together, and I've enjoyed it. I hope everybody else listening has enjoyed it, and thank you all for listening. It's been cool, and hopefully we catch you again at the handover.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been brilliant, totally amazing. It's been felt so natural as well to do, undoubtedly, and definitely met two fantastic people and made two good friends as well. It's been great, so many common interests, and to learn about their lives too. It's been, really insightful and extremely interesting. So yeah, it's been brilliant, and I'm glad. I hope you've all enjoyed listening to it. And like I say, we'll be back for the final handover for the new guys, and yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll definitely be listening to next year, for sure.
Yeah,
Genius
me too.
stuff. Right. Cool.
Almost feel
I
like
think
crying.
that's all
Oh
we
my
have to
God.
say. Say again.
I almost feel like crying. I need to get the tissue box out. For
No,
the
it
tears.
feels a little weird. I haven't had a weird feeling in my stomach since like January when we first started, as I do have now, because it's kind of like, how am I meant to finish this? This is a bit weird. So
Yeah.
very, very strange indeed. But I guess that's all that's left to say is, again, thank you. And to everyone and to yourselves, have a fantastic Christmas. And
absolutely.
we'll speak to you all in the new year. So cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas,
See
Happy
you.
New Year.
Yeah.
All the best.
Bye-bye. Who's going to be last?